Okay, I'm going to go like
Hi,
this.
James and Tim. And the
Hey.
gents in the UK.
Hi, guys.
Okay, this is new on the right-hand little menu in StreamYard.
Yeah,
It's a recording thing.
Yeah, because I'm. It's a new thing that they've had for a little while, and I didn't know if you had activated it or not. When you set up the set up the stream, there's an option there to record locally.
Okay. Oh.
And I checked that box.
Okay, got it.
So what it does is it'll be recorded. Of course, it's not really going to be a big deal in this case, but when somebody else is on the stream, like Steph and Nick Camacho and whatever, it will record from each of their local
that's cool.
locations. And what happens is after we're finished recording, then it uploads it to StreamYard, and then I'm able to download it.
So they don't really have to record anymore?
I'd still want them to, but
it's a backup.
It's a backup, yeah.
Got it. Understand.
Let's see here.
Tim Van Ram, yes, it's only just after 6:00 on the West Coast there.
So it says Liz is uploading, and Jeff, Nick, and Nigel is uploading. Please ask all guests to stay in the studio until their recordings are done uploading. Okay, so after we finish, we have to wait until we're sure that everything is uploaded.
Tickety-boo.
Before we log off.
Got it.
Tickety-boo and somebody too.
Tyler too.
Okay. Hello, James Taylor. Love your music, man.
Bet you're not the first that said that, Jeff.
No, I'm sure. What? Do you think somebody else has been that clever? No.
Impossible.
Okay.
So how many kilometers did you bike, Nigel? Or miles?
Almost exactly 3,000 Ks.
Wow.
It's 3.2. It's almost exactly the same distance as Calgary to Toronto.
Cool.
The T.
Cool.
And it was, I don't know, 10 days of riding, nine or 10 days of riding.
Was the weather pretty decent?
Yeah, we got soaked once and a shower.
Smoky? Did you see any fire smoke?
No, not really.
Good.
I mean, the visibility dropped from 1,000 kilometers down to 500 K at one point.
Yeah.
No, it was great, Liz,
Good.
to be honest.
Good. Great.
Really well run, a couple of minor glitches, saw a bear or two.
Nice.
Three, I think we saw 3 bears.
And you flew in and out of Calgary, did you? Or?
Yeah, and we left Calgary and went basically clockwise around down to slightly into Montana and then back up again.
Got it.
And the Jasper to Banff run was
that's beautiful. Yep.
It's just classic. Yeah. I'd do it again.
Columbia Ice Fields. Did you go to Columbia?
Yep. Went up there. Yeah. No, it was good. Right up to the top. Saw Lake Louise and all that stuff. Although that was super crowded.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, height of the season. James is in Hampshire. James is in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire. James Taylor.
Oh, I see.
In our chat.
You know what? I don't think you need this pop filter thing.
Well, you don't know my plosives, man.
There you go. That way we would see your face.
There you go. Is that about the right?
No, put the pop filter back.
No, bugger off.
So,
sorry, there will be no French in this because I didn't do that. I was only in the English.
I'm glad Jeff has separated Nick and Nigel from each other.
Yeah. Oh, Nick's taking his hat off. Does that mean I can take my hat off?
No, I'm just until I cool off.
Yeah.
That's going back on.
He's a hot tamale.
Yeah, he's hot-headed.
All right. I hope I got everybody's PayPal.
Oh yeah, I guess I better do this.
Mazoots and Magnus.
Oh yeah, I saw Magnus in your video. That was great that he made it.
Yeah, he contributed.
Nice. Yeah, he seemed very excited to be there, which was nice.
Yeah. And yeah, he was very excited. Okay. I don't want to take the time to do all the coffee fun stuff. Do I have to?
No, you can just read it out.
Yeah. Okay, I could do it like that. Let me look at.
We're doing APG light here. You're not doing the usual.
Right.
APG light in the head.
Yeah, exactly. Lightheaded, laugh
light,
loaded.
light in the what is it called? Feet, shoes, light in the loafers.
Light in the loafers, exactly. Another Thomas is from Asheville, North Carolina. Nice. Glad you could join us, Thomas.
We live.
Tanya. Hi, Tanya.
Yep.
In New York, has the rain stopped in New York? There's been huge flooding in New York State and New England. Very bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of rain?
Yeah. Storm after storm. West Point area near the military academy, very
Yeah.
hard hit.
On the Hudson?
Uh-huh. Excuse
Okay, we
me.
have Giles.
Sorry, everybody. We're just getting going here, so just bear with us a bit. Yes, it stopped. Not so bad in Manhattan. Good to hear, Tanya. Yeah, some of the pictures from upstate New York and Vermont and stuff are just incredible. Some of the pictures from upstate
Right,
New
I'll
York.
kill that down.
Oh boy, whose voice is that? Yuck.
That was me. I just wanted to find the chat somewhere. Oh, there we go.
Okay, this will have the chat, but you can watch it yourself. Can you pop it out on that just chat or?
Yeah, I've got
Okay.
it.
What are you asking him to pop out, please?
Yeah.
Nick's company.
I need much more beer if that's going to happen.
Don't we all? And I don't drink beer.
That's right. But it'll help, maybe. Giles
So-
Robinson. So I'm going to keep that page there. Yes, ma'am.
Was the traffic getting away from the race course awful yesterday or not so bad? Or
We had to take well, Nick can tell you.
We did it in about 90 minutes, which was spot on estimate. But
Oh,
the
good.
journey would normally take barely over half an hour. So
okay, well,
it
to
wasn't
be
too
expected,
bad.
I guess. Yeah.
We took a different route home. Waze came up with a novel suggestion, which worked very well.
It worked well.
actually.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it did.
So did you park quite a long way away and then take like a shuttle in to the?
No, we were very close to the boundary of the area.
So did you get like priority parking? Was that part of your package?
Yeah, indeed.
Hospitality parking.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
It was in a field,
Yeah.
uphill, down, dale. The only problem was that there was a single exit, and we were pretty long way from it. So we started in the main drag in the queue, and of
Right.
course everyone in front of us in the car park was cutting into the queue. So every time someone entered the queue,
Yeah.
we
stopped.
more or less went backwards. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
You're
So
just
it
inching
felt-
along. Yep.
Yep, forever to get out of the queue. I was
Yeah.
getting
That's-
quite
that is frustrating.
because we'd like been in like half an hour in the queue, and people were just getting in their cars, cutting ahead.
I know
So
that's
every
very.
time someone tried to cut in, I blocked them and
Oh,
gave
yeah,
them a mouthful.
It was not pretty.
So if you're a listener and you saw a red Audi with the top down, some bearded bloke shouting at you
Now, did you go out on the terrace there to watch most of the race? Like, where did you watch?
in the grandstand.
Oh,
They
you
put
were in
up
the
a big-
grandstand. Okay, cool.
Yeah, big grandstand, a little further down the track.
Oh, nice.
Which was perfect because you get a nice elevated view. The
And
terrace
where
was
were you? What corner were you near? Like, where were you near?
Vale.
Vale.
That was
Between Stowe Corner and Vale.
yeah.
I'd have to look at a
So-
map, but
It was a good little straight leading up to a 90 left, and we're right opposite right overlooking the pit entrance as well.
oh, that's kind of
So
cool. Yeah, that's neat.
the cars that went in the pit were literally right underneath our feet almost.
Wow.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, it was exciting. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great. Yeah.
Ad
Don't want
nauseam.
to preempt all the excitement.
God, he
Nigel's
showed me
very
100
excited
photographs of
About it.
cars. I had to have a chuckle at them there. You know, they go off to Silverstone to watch the fastest cars in the world racing around. And there's a certain irony that they then get stuck for an hour and a half in the car park.
Yes. Wah, wah. That's funny.
He's right, though. Okay. So I'm going to start off by saying, hey, this is a different format than our normal. And
Yep.
I'm going to make an attempt to make this a one-shot recording so that I have little
Little to
editing.
no editing. That would be great.
Yeah. So it could be interesting. Oh, we need to establish the Skype.
Yes, sir. I've been waiting. All right.
Okay.
Here
Yep. Oop,
Do you have a checklist for this, Jeff, or are you relying on your memory?
memory.
Which is why we cock up so often. Bing bong.
Hello. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Oh, right. Okay.
Okay. Now let me.
What, just a little thingy?
Yes, you're coming through. The control room is coming through.
Okay.
Okay. And there we go. And there we go. And there we go. We're going to pin it. And so when I talk to Liz, I have to mute. I'm going like this.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
look at
Can't you automate that into a button somewhere?
I would,
A
if somebody,
macro on the keyboard?
probably somebody smart might be able to do that.
Yeah.
It's probably G, isn't it?
by the way, Nigel, your question about the checklist, I loved because I've had that conversation with Jeff a few times.
So the
Yeah.
problem is we could make a checklist, but then I would forget to run the checklist.
I would remind you, but anyway,
Well, then you'd fail your check ride.
good comment
okay.
there from Tim Van Ram. Curly, Larry,
Okay, what
and
does it say? Because I can't see it.
Mo. Says it's Mo, Larry, and Curly.
I thought you said it was a good comment.
Yeah. Yes, it is great to have Captain Nigel on the show. He flew in specially. He
Absolutely.
flew transatlantic just to be on.
Flew
The
into his own home.
exactly, exactly.
I
Nick and
cancelled
Jeff
riding
welcomed
around
him
the
to his
Rockies
own
just
home.
to do this, yeah.
I'm going to
Nigel's long-suffering wife has been putting up with Nick.
Yeah,
and
she's
Jeff.
gone to bed.
Don't
It's a
blame
little
her.
early. All right. Okay, so we have the chat here as well.
Want to say hi?
It might
I'm
be
not going
more
to I
convenient.
can't read
Nice.
it.
Okay, gotcha.
Glasses on, I'm
Gotcha,
not gonna
gotcha,
turn it
gotcha.
off, actually, so bad.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Liz. Can you take your well, you don't have to take it out yet, but I need to add a couple of those photos.
Oh,
to,
yeah. I'll stop my thing.
To
Stop
Keynote. Um,
Okay, I'm out.
All right.
I'm out.
Thanks.
So did
Getting
you
to,
gentlemen go to the Lampet Arms for lunch?
No, we went to the castle at Edge Hill.
Oh,
Very nice.
Edge Hill is where one of the battle. Well, in fact, it was the first battle, apparently, of the Civil War. We learned today.
hi, Tim Van Ram. Poppy says hello.
I wish it would just automatically
It's the
fill.
original Civil War. There's not
Yes,
follow up that happened.
I understand. It was the
British Civil War.
War of the Roses.
No, actually, it's probably the original Civil War. Roundheads and Cavalier stuff, Royalists.
Got it. Oliver Cromwell.
That's it. The last time these guys were
That
here,
one?
they went to the pub where Oliver.
My British history's a
Cromwell played.
long way in the past.
It's probably just better than mine.
We got British history and American history and Canadian history. Not that there's all that much Canadian history. It's pretty short.
All in 10 days.
Yeah.
And just for those of you who are with us in the live audience, how are the levels?
Yeah, good question.
Sounds good to me.
And a little bit from me.
And me.
And me, and now in stereo.
It's the APG trio.
I don't sing, by the way.
Well, fake it.
Jeff makes up for the two of you. Well, I think, Nick, you used to be a chorister, didn't you, in your youth?
Indeed, yes. I used to twiddle the vocal cords.
Tanya
Do we
says
have-
it sounds good in New York City.
Okay. Do we have a photo from our meetup here, Nick, that we can display? I do have one. I guess I could display that one.
Yeah, come on.
Why not? The one that I'm holding
That's
up.
the only
The,
one
Jeff
we
had
have.
his
I've
forefinger
got some on my
amputated.
camera, but it's over there.
it's not going to work.
Need
just use that one.
Well, let's see. I need to go over here to
It's not that bad,
messages. No, it's not that bad.
We've seen that pose from you before,
I'm
Jeff.
just saying I'm number one.
That's right. I believe we have one of that. You're doing that in the cockpit at some
Oh,
point.
that's right. That is a very offensive one that Nick uses all the time.
Now, Mike has just texted me that you did not update the link on the website.
Yes, I did.
We knew that question was coming up, Micah. So they think
He can't hear us, obviously.
I can hear you. You're speaking.
How does he know we're on there?
So let me go. Maybe you could check it, Liz.
Yeah, well,
Thanks.
I'm going for a pee.
Okay.
I closed all the doors just in case you had to do a run.
yep,
where is that photo?
it's updated.
Okay.
Can't wait to message him back.
It's nice having
Where
you.
did we put that photo of us in the back garden at Nigel's? I know I sent that somewhere.
Well, you WhatsApped it to me, but that's probably not handy on your computer.
It might be.
It was July the 7th, if that helps.
I've got it. Do you want me to send it to you on chat?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here it comes. Just a minute. There it is.
Is your filter coping with?
There you go. Just send it, Jeff.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's it.
Okay, and copy, and now we add a new slide and paste.
Liz is louder. Oh, I'm louder than the three tenors. Well, that'll never do. Thank you, Tim.
Okay, there we go. So let's see. I actually should probably put that like that. I should mention that. Okay, so in the getting to know us, we have the Sim Venture. This will be the last time I mention it because I think it's on the 13th. Then I'll also mention Matt's
Yeah, Matt's meetup. Yep.
meetup,
Yep. And then your pictures.
and then our pictures. And I don't know if it's going to be in that order, but I have the pictures from our pub lunch today, those 4, and then I have where's the one I just? No, I'm sorry. Before that, I have the
garden.
meetup
Yeah.
in the garden.
Yep.
And then I have a video for the meetup in London
Okay. Sounds good.
at Hendon. Okay.
Did
So
you have an audio that you needed for Friday night? Have you got that somewhere?
yeah,
From the meeting?
where is that? Thank you for reminding me about that.
So are you done in Keynote now?
I am. You can take it.
Okay.
See all the stuff behind the scenes going on here?
I know. It's exciting, isn't it, everyone?
It's so exciting.
It's
What
exciting.
did I call this meetup?
7th of July, if you sort by date.
Micah has made it. Hello, Micah.
Not the Euro meetup, but the one that we had at 4th of July.
Yeah, of course.
What did I call it, though?
The second meetup. Oh,
No, the first one. But I did not call it that.
Hendon.
RAF Museum.
Shoot. Excuse me.
You'd have done Independence Day.
Be right back. I gotta let my dog out.
No, I would not.
You want to go out?
Go let your dog out. RAF, maybe. It's audio. That's
Can't you sort by date and it's 4th of July audio?
oh. Okay, a bunch of pictures from that meetup. UK meetup, PNG, RAF. Oh, I know it's here somewhere.
Again, because I was moving. Nigel, could you stretch your neck up? Because that mic's right in your...
Yeah, it's okay.
What are we supposed to do?
It's saying he's dead
Everybody's looking at a different place.
saying
Which way
don't
am I supposed
slouch,
to be?
Nick, is that right?
What am I supposed to be looking at?
Do you need another cup of tea?
It's just on your chin.
Do you need another cup of tea?
Getting that, actually.
Yeah.
I might switch to a beer, actually.
Well,
It'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
yeah. Do you want out the box?
Yeah.
Help yourself. You know which one you want.
How about you? You can make tea.
No, I'm just dumping that cup. I'll get some later on. Thanks.
Ah, British Grand Prix. No, this is upsetting. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm not very organized, apparently. Let me just do. Okay, how about jingle search, meetup. I have the Wichita meetup. I have a Little Rock meetup. Miami. Come on. Where'd I put the thing?
On your phone or something.
Okay.
Oh, it's a.
Ready.
No, it. I'm sorry. I am looking for the one that we did here. What would I have called that?
Hendon, RAF Hendon.
No. Or maybe the. Let me try the BGP. No, that was a picture.
Can you search the whole computer?
Yes, absolutely. Spiral staircase, Tim.
It's a nice wide one too. You don't bang your head on anything.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're very practical, but sometimes you're right. They're too narrow and kind of.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
They're not easy to navigate when you've had a few beers.
Yes, exactly. Sobriety test.
Well, you keep going around in
Look,
circles.
I
don't you?
can't navigate even when I'm sober. Stone cold sober.
Good thing you had a navigator then, ain't it, Nick?
What was it under then?
Under the meetup 2 folder. I need to be better at naming
That's
things.
a clever place to put the meetup one pictures.
Well, my brain is fried right now. I don't have any cells left in it. So I need to put it over here.
What day are you flying home, Jeff? What day is your
Thursday.
Thursday? Thursday.
And let's see.
Nick
Nick is drawing a big sigh of relief. Oh, he'll be gone.
No, I'm looking forward to
hello,
his
everyone.
support
We
at tomorrow's
in the
bowls match.
Oh, you got another
wonderful,
bowls- oh.
beautiful country estate of Nigel Demery. Nigel
Is this a
and
continuation
Valerie
of the one last
and,
week, or no?
Kurt
Another?
Hadmartin.
No, this is a league match.
Oh,
And
God.
it's a beautiful place, beautiful weather. This is the end of the first
Are you hearing that,
day
Liz?
Yes, sir.
of the 3 days.
Okay, because
that,
everybody
Nick
was
and
continuing
I
to
are
talk
going
as
to
if
be
it was not
spending
playing.
At the
Well.
Silverstone
Okay.
circuit, the Formula One Grand Prix.
Is that loud enough? Or?
The British Grand Prix.
It's a little low, I
And,
think.
We were there for a couple of practice sessions today.
That's better.
And it was just
That's
a
good.
blast. Really had a lot of fun.
Okay,
and
now
this,
I'm going to have to.
these tickets, these
Okay,
hospitality
hang on.
tickets.
Let me bring
I
this
could
back
really
down
get
because
used
it's
to
going
this
to
kind
blow
of
everybody out when I do a regular.
really wonderful
like-
food and
You're listening to the
really
headline.
great location.
That's kinda loud,
on
isn't
the,
it?
circuit
A little bit.
and all that
Not
kind of
not
stuff.
awful, but a
anyway,
little bit.
Best part of the
Okay.
day, other than the time that we had at the
well, I have it
circuit,
full volume
is
over
that we're
here.
having a what do we call it? The
Yeah, I'll just have to
APG
adjust it
Great
when we play it.
Great North
Slightly North meetup.
Slightly north.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helps meet up too. Check.
Yep. And then, so how are we going to do? We're going to just start off with everything going on and then do feedback? Liz?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's the right way to
Okay.
do it. Everybody wants to hear what you've been up to.
Yeah. All right. So let me load up the video from the first meetup. Get that ready.
Are you
Pretty
going to read
filed.
it? Are you going to read an intro though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
or are you?
I'm going to do a generic intro, and then I haven't written a script at all, but I'm just going to say, I'll just make up something.
Okay, that's fine. No, I just wanted. Do you want me to show the Acme logo?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Please. Now, what was I doing here?
Logan, hi. Yes, he is going to read the feedback that you sent in. Thank
For the
you.
video. Yes, Logan. Got you covered.
We got you. I even put some slides together for it.
Neat. Okay, and where is that?
Excuse me.
Okay, there we go.
So we're going to aim.
Oh, that's loud.
Whoa, that's very loud.
Yeah, hang on. I'll try this again.
So we're going to aim for a
Taking pictures of me, unflattering pictures, I'm sure, because he's really good at
Is that
taking
okay, the
unflattering
Yeah,
volume?
that's
pictures.
good. That's
I mean,
fine.
look at this.
Okay.
So we're going to aim for a maximum of about 2 hours today, everybody, just so you know. So's you know. These guys have got more socializing to do, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got roast lamb dinner coming later on, so can't
There you
run
go.
over. Oh, and some Soyuz red wine, Pinot Noir.
You're kicking them out tomorrow, are you, Nigel? They're leaving tomorrow?
I'm letting them go, I think is the
Yeah.
phrase that you use politely when you fire someone.
Letting them go.
Yes, Tim.
Jeff?
I'm waiting.
Yep, we're waiting with bated breath.
So obviously, it worked for you, Micah, because I did update it. So I'm glad you're here.
Jeff's
Okay.
going to start putting on that update. This is for you, Micah.
See if you can jump seat on Air Force One for the return light. No. Don't
If you
think
got
they'll
onto
let
Air
me on
Force One,
board.
you should be able to sit in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Get off my plane.
All right. We're recording on Reaper. We're recording on the local mix pre.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just do a quick sound check to make sure that we don't blow everybody out with this. Where is it?
You asked me to check that you press the record button.
I have. Thank you. Yep.
That's cool.
We're
Yeah,
recording.
yeah. That's cool.
And that's recording. And where's the generic? Here we go.
You're listening to the
Well,
Airline Podcast.
That's really loud.
Loud.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go to B.
To be.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
Better.
The view from our side of the cockpit
Yeah, that's
door.
good. To my ears, that's good.
What's interesting about this though is what we're hearing doesn't always jive with what's being put
I know.
to
I know.
StreamYard, so
Yeah.
that's why I have to do these
I know.
checks.
I shouldn't even tell you because it doesn't really count.
No. I mean, I need to hear that from you because you're hearing what it sounds like on StreamYard. And then I have to adjust the local. But I don't really care.
Jingles doesn't care.
Yeah.
As long as we don't have any bleeding ears in the audience, we're okay.
No,
Yeah.
a few bleeding bums.
Bleeding hearts.
Whoa. Are we talking about Jeff's back end again?
No. Okay, let me quit Keynote. I'm trying to get rid of some of the programs I don't need going on.
Here we go.
Skype I need. This I don't need. I don't need App Store.
Right, Tanya. Nick is just awful, isn't he? Nick
He
with
is.
2 exclamation marks.
Evernote, intro, and then I'll do. Oh, and that will drive me nuts if you do that. Thank you. Don't do that because all our microphones are picking up anything you do on the table. You could do the little. I don't care if you do that with your fingers. That doesn't bother me. It's the thumping part that I don't like.
No thumping.
No
Hey,
thumping.
hey, Granny, have you got any eggs I can suck?
I think that was a verbal warning.
Yellow card.
All right. Remember, I'm going to try to do this one.
I know. But you know
one
what?
cut. What?
Just do it just do it one cut. Don't do a bunch of
Shall I
fiddling
get you a
around.
beer
Just
now?
people can live with it.
You're going
Yeah.
to be full on. Shall I get you a beer now as backup?
My what?
Shall I get you a beer now? Instead
Yes, please.
Yeah. That's
Nigel is such a considerate person.
Um,
Wow.
What? Do you have one of those thirsty ferrets? Oh, you do? Love that. Never had a firsty ferret before.
Firsty.
A firsty. Yeah. Well, I had that at the
The bowling club.
green.
Ah.
The bowling club. I don't know what to say anymore.
Where are you playing tomorrow, Nick? Are you playing at your home club, or are you away?
Yeah. Team from Four Marks, I think, is coming over to play us.
Nice. So how did Jeff do rolling your bowls?
He didn't roll mine. He rolled Jilly's.
And how did
That was something.
you're a really, really understanding husband, Nick.
I know, indeed. Which he once he got the hang of how much
The
you need
bias.
to effort, and the bias, and which he did very quickly. He was surprisingly accurate. He was a bit of a natural, which is
I wonder if there's
embarrassing.
any lawn
because-
bowling clubs in the Atlanta area.
Oh, there are. I say that with absolute confidence because, like, there's 5 in Los Angeles. There are several in New York, and I haven't looked at anywhere else.
I have to come up with some kind of an intro for Nige.
All right.
All right.
Union Rabble Rouser.
RAF.
I'll wait until until Nige comes back.
XRAF Bomber Puke. I can do it for you.
Yeah, we're afraid of that.
Decades long, amazingly decades long friend of Nick's.
Yeah, sadly.
Nige. Yeah. What do you want me to say when I introduce you?
Motorcycle aficionado.
Huh? Please. Is that out of the fridge?
Hong Kong nice is what I'm sort of
I know. I gotta say more than that.
sign on.
Don't do it on
not
the
helping.
table, Nick.
Is that a warm one, Nige?
Yeah, it's warm. And
Oh, he didn't like warm beer.
well, I can put it in the fridge and have it in half an hour.
I'll
Put
just.
some ice cubes in it.
Ice cubes in your IPA. Ooh. Blah. Gives me the shivers thinking about
You
it.
can tell I'm not a
Video.
beer drinker, right?
It's Firsty ferret. Okay. There you go. You can put it somewhere where it'll electrocute us.
Okay, thank you. That was not me. Oh my gosh, this is going to be something. Okay, so what am I going to say about you?
Hong Kong Nige. Retired
Oh,
from Acme Brushwing. There you go.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to let Nick introduce you.
Yeah, there you go.
So when you start,
This should be
and
good.
yeah, well, I guess all of us are from the same studio. From Nigel Demarie's
Upper
beautiful
Tad Martin.
Upper Tad Martin, or just Tad Martin.
Tad much.
He's the lord. He's the
studio.
lord of the manor. He's the lord
Yeah.
of this village.
Yeah, it's a very small village.
Firsty Ferret is a Moorishly malty amber ale. Ooh.
It
There
is.
you go.
I couldn't have said it better, Liz.
I read their advertising.
Okay, here we go. Let me,
Are we ready?
sort of.
Oh, I guess I have to keep time a little bit too, don't I? It's been so
Yeah,
long
if you
since
want.
we've done a show.
If you want to.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't want to go on and on.
Well, yeah, that's true. There we go. Okay. Why do I have? Oh, I know why. That was Matt. Clear. Okay.
You actually to write something down.
Mohammed. Mohammed.
I'll wing it. Give it to me. I'll wing it.
There's
That's what I'm gonna
Mohammed
do.
from Iraq.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Mohammed from Iraq.
Oh,
Nice rack
how's it hanging, Mohammed?
from the tower, from the control tower.
It's hanging from the tower. That sounds painful. Okay.
Ready,
I guess we should
guys?
Just, I
Let's
guess. I don't know
hit
if
it.
this Accident waiting to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at the
All right. Here we go. 577. Recorded on the 10th of July, 2023.
Correct.
Thank you. Please help us.
You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG, it's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 577. Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy show. What else do I say here?
View from our side of
The view from our side of the cockpit door. Today's show was recorded on the 10th of July, 2023. Yeah, I should have written this one.
Join the
I
music.
swear I am not going to stop. We're going to keep doing. Hey, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy show. It is. Oh, hell.
still the 10th of July.
Still the 10th of July.
But not for much longer.
We're going to talk about all the fun that we're having here, all the fun that I'm having here in England. Sit back, relax. Electronic devices powered on. Oh, that's why. It's up here. Why can't I remember what I'm supposed to say? Hey, now you really can appreciate Radio Roger because he usually says all this stuff. Yes. Get settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in their upright and locked positions. Electronic devices powered on. Flight 577 is ready for pushback. Anyway, so we can't thank Radio Roger because we gave him the week off. And so welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's the most entertaining, educational, non-air traffic talk aviation podcast in the world, in the universe, actually.
Yeah.
Covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. Of course, all these awards and stats are made up by me. And I'm Captain Jeff, a pilot at a major legacy airline based in the United States of America. But I am not in the USA. I am in Tadmorden, the village of Oxfordshire, and Tadmorden, to be exact.
Oxfordshire.
Yes. I should, before we continue any longer, I should probably say that this is an attempt to do a just, what do you call it? A one-off or no?
One take.
Single take.
Yeah.
One take, single take show. And man, I'm going to regret that, I think. All right. Let's see. Joining me today from this beautiful studio in Oxfordshire. Whatever. Tadmorden. That's easier for me to say. Professional photographer, former RAF, RAAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Atlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Well, hi there, Jeff. As if I haven't said hi to you 10 times today already. Great. We're having a show from Nigel's lovely house.
We are. And speaking of... Oh, wow.
Great timing.
That was perfect timing. So I'm going to let Captain Nick introduce his good friend, or ex-friend, maybe, Nigel
It's going
Demery.
to be X.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a fine pilot and gentleman sitting beside us. He is the Lord of the Manor of Tadmorden. He is the Baron of the village. He is an ex-military pilot, a bomber puke, as he loved to be called, flying Jaguars, and a flying instructor of renowned qualities who moved to the civil world to fly TriStars and 747s and 777s and other Boeing rubbish for a Far East carrier based in a small island off the coast of China. He left them to move to another large airline flying 747s in Korea. I'm pretty sure it was North Korea, but I'm not absolutely certain. And he has now retired to take over his duties as the Sultan of Tadmorden. Nigel Demery, Captain Nige.
Well,
Wow.
thank you, Nick.
What
That
an
was
intro.
amazing. I mean, I was not expecting anything like that.
I was actually wondering who you were talking about.
Yeah, well.
Yes, welcome,
it?
Nige.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
This
Welcome
is a
to your own
wonderful
home.
space, your beautiful home to record a show. And luckily, the Trololo little sound clip is a couple of minutes long because most of them
Just
are only
about
a few seconds long. Anyway, I don't think I've ever heard this part of this little sound clip. I
Okay,
love it.
Jeff.
Okay, time for me to hit fade all. And over here, too, also joining us from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier, an aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer. Yes, you know her, you love her. It's Liz Piper.
Hello, gentlemen, and everyone else.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know where I
Good
was
one.
going there.
Oh, it was great.
And
I love it.
everyone,
I needed Nick to write me a good intro.
Yeah, he's going to have to do all the intros from now on, I
Exactly,
think.
man. He's good.
I love
He's
that.
really
Yeah.
good.
All
Have a
right.
good show, you guys, and behave yourselves. Well, as much as
Yeah.
you can. Yeah.
we'll do our best. More beer,
Mm.
longer runways, faster airplanes.
And this is when, okay, Liz, do it. Hi, I can hear you. All right. So I think what we'll do, we normally go to news. By the way, if you're listening to this show for the very first time, this is not a normal episode. I'm essentially on holiday, on vacation over here in England, and we're going to tell you a lot about all that soon. But normally we do a news segment, talk about several news items, and give our just amazing analysis, and because of our deep expertise. And anyway, we're not going to do that today. We're going to cover all what we're kind of doing a big getting to know us segment. And then we're going to cover just a few items of feedback, and then that's it. We're going to call it a day. We got to get back to the drinking and eating.
And the toilet.
Okay.
Too much information, Nick.
All right. All right. So normally I'd hit the news thing, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do the getting to know us thing right there. There we go. Getting to know us. Getting to... Oh, no, that's not it. Anyway. Do you remember the words?
No, luckily.
Getting to like us. I know that part. Getting to hope you like us too.
I know it's from Pygmalion.
No, it's from The King and I.
Well, that was made from Pygmalion.
Oh.
All right then.
We need a bullshit flag here, boys.
We wave to your superior knowledge.
Liz is making corrections which you're hearing if you're listening to the audio-only podcast.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's my intro. Has that bit in? You're quite right.
Okay. Let's so where do we start? Let's see. So we've talked about in previous episodes that I was going to be coming over here to England. Talk about what, Liz? Oh, trying to get her. Oh, yeah. So my original plan was to fly out on a Saturday evening and then arrive here midday on Sunday, and that gives me a day or so of recovery before the scheduled Independence Day, 4th of July meetup in London. And we just love the irony of that. And so I basically, how do I keep this as short as possible? I screwed up. I was too clever for my own good, and I was thinking I would be able to basically staff travel on Virgin Atlantic. And that
I dropped them the hint.
Yeah, I shouldn't have told Nick.
Jeff
He
was
called
coming.
someone, and I wasn't able to get a seat on that. And I had
Oh, sorry, sir. All the seats are full.
Yeah, it's magically. So, and then I'd kind of eliminated my chance to fly on an Acme flight over. So I decided, okay, well, I learned my lesson. I'm going to try this again the next day. And so I used one of my awards travel passes, a round trip pass, and that was kind of pretty much guaranteed that I get a seat. And I lucked out. There was one business class seat available. Acme won.
Yeah, Neville Bounds didn't show.
No, I got his seat. Seat 1A.
Absolutely, 1A.
Yep. And traveled over and got in. The flight ran a bit late. I think what time? 1? 1:45 is when we arrived at Heathrow. And I was picked up by this amazing person over here, Captain Nick, and we carted off toward his home in the what would you call it? The
Wilds of Hampshire.
Wilds of Hampshire, yeah. And so we spent the day there, and then the next day kind of just relaxing and kind of acclimating. And did we do anything on Monday?
I think we went bowling, didn't we?
No, that was on Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
I think you got there Tuesday. Went you a day late? So
Yeah,
you got there Monday.
No, I got there Monday because the
Yeah.
meetup was Tuesday.
Did you do Tuesday?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Then we went Tuesday. Yeah, we went.
I don't know what we
meet
did.
up on
I don't think we
Tuesday.
did anything on Monday. We just kind of relaxed,
Yep.
rested up, and
Oh, we
just
watched a movie.
on Monday night we did. Yeah, I love that movie. It's called Crazy Stupid Love. Steve Carell. Is his name right? Steve Carell. Now that I'm saying it doesn't sound
Sure,
right.
it's not Carol Steve.
Yeah,
That's what you said
Who's-
last night after I had 10 glasses of wine.
Mike Carroll's brother? Oh, yeah. That's not true. Okay. Spelled entirely differently. So we did that. And then, of course, the next day we set off on the train to London and went to the Waterloo station and then got on the tube and headed up on the North Line, I think they call it, Northern Line.
Northern Line, yeah,
Yeah.
from Waterloo to Channing. something.
Collingdale.
Collingdale, there you go.
And
But we got on the wrong train.
we did?
Yeah, because about 2/3 of the way up that line, the line branches, and
Oh, yeah.
some trains go to the left, which is where we wanted to go, and our train was going to go to the right.
Good point.
So luckily, I spotted the error of our ways, and we clambered off just before the line split and waited for the next train that was going in our direction.
But we were on the wrong platform. Then we finally went, well, where's the train? And then there was a sign that said you had to go to like another tube to
Yep.
catch that train.
Yeah,
But we got there.
we did indeed.
Yeah, with less than a minute to spare, I think.
Nick's navigation in England has never been the best.
Well,
Yes, when we arrived at the RAF Hendon Museum, we were met by several folks who had arrived much more timely, in a more timely fashion, and had a great time there at the museum. We just chatted with each other and walked around and looked at the museum exhibit. Actually, one of the first places we went to was the cafe, and Nick ate an entire pizza by himself, and I had a hamburger, and
an entire hamburger.
an entire hamburger, and we chatted with the people there. Oh, and that's when we met in our meetup video that we're about to play. We talk about this family from America that we met in the cafe, and we were, Nick had all these American. I should back up. When I arrived at Nick and Jilly's place, he had decorated the entire front of his home with all kinds of American flags, and I'm thinking, oh, I bet they're going to get kicked out of this neighborhood. And then we took all these, well, not all of them, but most of them, in a backpack, and took them with us up to the RAF museum, and then he proceeded to take them all out in the cafe on 4th of July, and this family that was at a different table, and they were kind of looking at us like, what the heck is going on? And I'm thinking, oh, obviously we're being offensive, and it turns out that they're from America too, and they were like, yay, we're celebrating the 4th of July here at
Brilliant.
the RAF. Oh, okay. Nick, no, Liz, who are you? Who's this person speaking in my ear? Liz is telling me to tell you to go to Facebook, facebook.com/airlinepilotguy, where Nick made a bunch of great posts and posted a bunch of great pictures. And so you can see some of the activities there at the museum. And then we moved from there over to the Beaufort, it was raining, Beaufort pub. We didn't get too wet, and got in there, and then we spent the rest of the meetup. That was just a little after 5 o'clock, right?
That's exactly right, because the museum closed at
That's right,
5,
they kicked us out.
Yep.
And then we were there for, I don't know, probably a couple of hours.
Oh, and that first round tasted very
Oh,
special.
yes. Thank you, Liz Piper, for buying the first round of drinks.
It was brilliant.
Yep, it was awesome. Thank you.
Because there was no embarrassment. We just said, Liz is buying the first round, so what do you want?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we do have audio from there, Liz, and actually a video. And so I'm going to add that to the stream right now. Let's take a listen and a watch.
right, so here's Nick taking pictures of me, unflattering pictures, I'm sure, because he's really good at taking unflattering pictures of me. And look at this. We're at a pub in England, and it's the 4th of July, and we've really done up the place, or Nick has. Look at this, all these American flags. This is amazing, and this group of people that have shown up. Hey, look at that, from the Netherlands. Say hi.
Hello, this is Willem from the Netherlands. Hello.
All right, and also from Belgium, the Belgian dude.
Yes, the Belgian dude, yes. Hi. Oh no.
Hello. Hi.
She heard that there was a 4th of July celebration here, and
Not very
so
good at
she
this.
decided to come out and bring her Belgian dude. Anyway, thank you, Bill. Vim. There we go. I keep forgetting I'm holding a camera in my right hand. Okay. I apologize for all the videographers out there. And, all right, so Nick's talking to somebody important, probably talking to the local police to come out and arrest me. Hi there. Hey, I'm just doing a little meetup video thing here. First of all, let's talk to this gentleman here. That he's always in our live audience, or seems to be anyway.
Well, hello, Jeff. It's nice to see you in 3D finally.
Yeah. So who is this guy?
Oh, sorry, I'm Neil. People know Neil Unwon, yes. Most people probably know me to do with connection with the Super Guppy, the Brunting Thought. But yeah, I can usually be found hanging out in the APG chat room.
Providing a lot of comedic relief.
I'll try. It depends how much apple juice I've had, you know. But yeah.
So nice of you to show up for our meetup and at the museum, and now here at the Beaufort Pub and Diner. And Beaufort? Okay, sure. So I'd see that and say Beaufort. Oh, here, I'm talking to this guy right there. All right, now I'm going to go like this. I'm terrible at this. Tell us who you are and where you're from and anything else you want to say.
Hi, APG community. My name is Caro, and I'm not really involved in aviation, but I love it, and I'm a long-time follower of the Vulcan and keen air show photographer, and just fabulous to meet the community here and hang out with everyone.
Excellent. Okay, you're next, young lady.
Okay.
Future airline pilot.
Yeah, hopefully. My name's Eva. I'm a student pilot. I fly out of Leon Solent down south. And just little PA-28s. It's great. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. It was very nice to meet you. Can't wait to hear about your future career. And, who let this guy in?
Oh, Jeff. What a beautiful hamster.
Thank you for the
I'm enjoying your muff. Is this live? Is this on Facebook Live? Hi, everyone. It's me. What more can I say?
I mean, there's nothing left to say.
It's me. This is as good as this video is going to get. Drink me in.
Okay. Well.
Classic
and
Pip.
Trust me, you need to drink a lot to drink Pip in. All right. Here.
Hey, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July, absolutely. Who are you and why are you here?
Hello, I'm Tarek. Happy Traitors Day.
Thank you.
So yeah, I've been a listener for about 7 years now. Very happy to be here meeting everybody. Listening to all these voices and actually meeting people is quite an experience. I'm having a fantastic time. Thank you, Jeff.
Excellent. Yeah, he's such a comedian. Look at this guy here. Oh, we've already seen him. Never mind.
Yeah,
Let's move on. Move on. Okay. And
Hi. Hi, my name is Magnus Gladen, and I'm from Sweden. And when I heard that Captain Jeff was going to London and England to see the F1 competition, I just said I have to go and meet this guy. Thank you very much for 12 years of lovely listening. So I'm happy to meet you, and back to Jeff.
Thank you. And so awesome that you came all the way from Sweden. Well, these people, these are innocent bystanders. We met these guys over at the RAF Museum. I'm not very coordinated here, and I'm not used to doing this, actually. So they're here with their family, and we're wondering what was going on at the table next door with all the American flags and my American flag shirt. And
yeah, it's the 4th of July. You got to support the flag, huh?
Yeah. You know, my birthday, 4th of July, great place.
Oh, yeah. It's my oldest daughter's birthday, too.
Nice. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's great.
Yeah, so
Well, great to meet you.
got to have the American out.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So this guy right here, Tony.
Hi, Jeff. Yeah, I've been listening to the podcast for 10 years and enjoyed all of it. Thanks very much. And we're having a great time here despite the inclement weather.
This is normal weather, isn't it? For no, no, it's a little rain. It never hurt anybody. And this is one of the innocent bystanders that we met at the RAF Museum, and we convinced them to join us. He's a fellow American, also a fellow American airline pilot.
Yes, and good to see you guys. Be among the fellow airline pilots. Going to be listening to the broadcast or the podcast, so it's going to be great. And thanks for a good 4th of July here.
Absolutely.
This is my wife.
Yes, thank you for having us. It was great meeting you. And yep.
Awesome. And they were asking if I was going to be at Oshkosh. I might be, and so maybe we'll see you guys at Oshkosh this year. If not this year, definitely from the...
We'll be looking for an older guy with a mustache.
Yeah, with white hair or white gray hair. And it says you don't see many of those there. Yeah, like 90% of the people at Oshkosh. All right. I think I got everybody that was here who hasn't left yet and hasn't been repulsed by the APG crew. And so now...
You know that film, Born on the 4th of July? We've got someone here whose birthday is... You've done this already? Well done. I've only just found out. Brilliant.
I just found out, too, when I was handing the microphone around. Yeah, that's awesome. So, all right. So we're going to sign off. Back to you in the studio if this is going into the studio. I don't know where the heck this is going. Okay, bye.
It is going into the studio. And, well, that was a lot of fun. That kind of gave you a little taste of all the fun and frivolity. What about them? Oh, yeah, it was great. It was great to meet these people just coincidentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the museum was fine. It was no big deal, but it was lovely just to have aeroplanes in the background to lubricate the chatter. And then when we got to the pub, it was nice to have a few beers to lubricate the chatter. So a very, very pleasant time. And I must thank Magnus in particular, because he was very generous and found us a couple of small bottles of Stockholm gin. So we now have the Stockholm syndrome. So, and then Eva, just as we were, so I was getting hate messages from my wife saying, "When are you coming home?" Eva, the lovely student pilot, immediately volunteered to drive us all the way home, which she did in the pouring rain. And then she had to turn around and head off down to Arundel, which was a reasonable drive. So it was ever so kind of you, if you're listening, Eva. Really appreciated that. Lovely chatting to you during the journey and hearing your story about how you got into aviation and how keen you are to finish your training and get into the seat of an airliner. So good luck with that. You did promise to keep us abreast of your story, so please make sure you do that. We'd love to have some feedback.
Yes. Thank you so much, Eva. And thank you, Magnus, for the wonderful Stockholm gin. I think I've been sipping a little bit of that before the.
Well, it does on the bottle say sipping gin.
It does.
I've never tried sipping
It
gin.
was really good sipping gin.
Gin.
I swear, I've only had I had one beer at the pub for lunch.
Yeah.
And I'm only starting on the first deferret.
Yeah, he's just topping up on the red wines from last night. Though.
Well, let's not talk about all the alcohol that I've consumed so far since being here, especially at the Formula One race. My liver, I don't know. I can't feel it, so I guess it's okay. Next day we went to the Alton
Social.
Alton Social. And I watched Nick play a match against a supposedly really, really good player at the in the county.
No, he is.
Yeah, he is. Really, no, hang on. He is really, really good, right?
No, he really is.
He was really, really
I didn't
good.
mean to sound. I shouldn't
don't
have
be
said
demeaning.
supposedly. Yeah, I didn't mean to be demeaning at all. No, he had a reputation. In fact, the guy Gary, who was your marker, it was just Gary on the end that I was sitting, and Captain Nick and Leo, the guy he was playing against, were on the other end, and Gary said to me, "This guy is a really good," but not talking about Nick. He's talking about the other guy, like a really renowned bowler. I think almost in a way to kind of prepare me for the fact that
Yeah.
Nick is not going to be doing well against this guy.
Well, I wasn't, was I?
Well, at first, yeah, it was.
Yeah, he didn't do well.
It was kind of expecting.
Fabulous.
Well, yeah. At first, though, I was thinking, oh yeah, he really is good, and he's kind of pulling ahead of Nick. And at one point, I think you were down 7 shots.
Yeah.
And something like that. And then as the game progressed and they started getting into the latter part of the match, I look up and I look at the score. I had to go inside the clubhouse because there were some. I've been having hay fever since I've been here at certain points. I don't know what exactly it is that I'm allergic to.
The United Kingdom, it seems.
Well, I don't. I mean, right now I'm fine, but there are some times where I'll sit outside and my eyes were burning and watering and I'm sneezing. So I had to go into the clubhouse to kind of get away from that.
Yeah, that's where the bar was. Go on, be honest.
Well, the beer was in there, but I had not yet had any. And we didn't have any until after the match. Anyway, I look up and I look at the score and it's like, whoa, how did that happen? Nick's much, much closer to the guy he's playing. And then at the very end, guess what? He pulled it off. Well, I don't know what he pulled off. Yeah, he pulled off his pants, and it was very embarrassing. I was very embarrassed for him. No, he pulled off the game. He won. He beat this really super hot player, and I was going, oh my gosh, that's great. And so I'm going to let Nick talk about the match. Oh, Pip. Hey, Pip.
Oh, hi, Pip.
Drink him in.
Drink
ladies
him
and
in.
gentlemen.
Yeah,
Drink
we
him
saw
in.
you, Pip.
Yeah,
hiding behind a cushion, drinking beer.
No, what can I say? I had a few ends where I played out of my skin and crept ahead of Leo, and then just to finish off the game, I had I was really pleased. I threw down a bunch of very nice bowls and cornered the jack, and he was left with little option. So he very graciously, congratulated me, shook my hands.
Final score?
21-17. It's first to 21. So it was close all the way through, except the initial bit when I got well behind. But I was delighted. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Pip saying Nick pulled off a super hot player. I won't be hanging around today, I think. No, I think Pip would probably be going, take everything off my schedule. I'm going to be hanging around until the end of this show. I want to hear more.
Well, there's more to come, actually, isn't there?
Yeah, so you made the area, did you just mention you made the area finals?
Yeah. In the area finals, and then get through that, and we're in the county finals. So that's going to be great. And I should, in theory, get badged, I think. Get my county badge for my first year playing in Hampshire. So I'm really looking forward to that. If it comes off, we'll have to see. I've got more games to win yet.
Coming off again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had a go.
Yeah, after the match, we went inside and had a couple of Firsty Ferrets. It's a interesting name for a beer, but it's really good. Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Just exactly like this. The Firsty Ferret. Let me get a little bit closer to the camera. There you go. And it's really tasty. It's what did you say, Liz?
Witchwood's Brewer, isn't it? Or something?
That's
Badger.
Badger Ales. It's a moorishly malty amber ale. Dark crystal malt delivers a full-bodied biscuity taste, rounded off with a subtle floral and lemon hop aroma. I couldn't have said it better. Half an hour. Thank you, Liz. And okay. So anyway, that was a great experience, and I got I threw some bowls, bowled a couple ends, or I don't know. I'm trying to learn this terminology, but anyway, it's trickier than you'd think. It looks like a piece of cake. You just roll these things down the lawn, and I was kind of rolling it like a regular an American not billiards, what do you
Ten-pin
call it?
bowling.
Bowling ball, yeah, with the holes in it and all that. And they're much heavier, and most of us will put like a little bit of English or spin on it, and you don't do that with these things apparently, because they kept saying something about it pineappling, and I wasn't gathering or figuring out what they meant, but it was wobbly, and then I finally figured out you don't do that. You just roll it straight. Right?
Exactly, yeah. On the running surface, and let it have a nice smooth exit from your hand and head off in the right direction with the right weight, and Bob's your uncle.
And Bob's your uncle.
And Fanny's your aunt.
Next day, what did I do? Oh yeah, I spent most of the day trying to finally do the finishing touches on the previous show that we had recorded on the Friday before. So almost an entire week it took me to finally get that thing edited and published, and I do apologize for that. But there were a lot of things going on. So got that published the end of the day on Thursday, and then on Friday morning we set off for where we are now, up in well, actually we went to Silverstone. Yeah, we didn't get here yet, so we went to didn't we?
Yeah, we
went directly to
Silverstone.
Silverstone on Friday midday. We got there for or late morning. We got there for free practice 1, free practice 2, and I think we didn't stay for the entire free practice 2 because we wanted to get back here for the meetup number 2, the great
Nearly
northern, slightly north.
Yeah.
APG slightly, I forgot exactly what the title is. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a picture of us in the back garden. Would you call that the back garden?
One of them.
Okay, one of the back gardens
It's the
of the
North
estate.
Garden, really. It's the
And
North Garden.
yeah, it's isn't that beautiful? And right behind me, I'm in fact in the picture I'm pointing to it. There's a water feature back there, a little waterfall, and I sadly I used the wrong finger. I
That
apologize.
photograph was taken for me, and he's saying, "Hi, Nige, how's it going in Canada?" And saying, "I'm here all by myself, just one of me."
Yeah, when the picture was being taken, I didn't think it was going to be shared with more than just Nigel. But here you go. There's well, some of us at the meetup. I think we had one or two that had to leave before we took the picture, but we do have some audio that we recorded at that meetup, and I am going to play that now. Did I put it over here, or do I have to play it manually? I can't remember. Okay, let's go over here to Farrago, which is a weird name for a soundboard, and I'm going to please help me. Where did it go?
It's not.
Here we
really-
go. I see it. All right, here we go.
Close to you. You're off. Well, hello, everyone. We are in the wonderful, beautiful country estate of Nigel and Valerie Demery in Upper Tadmartin. Did I say that right? Okay.
Yep, did good.
And it's a beautiful place, beautiful weather. This is the end of the first day of the 3 days that Nick and I are going to be spending at the Silverstone circuit, the Formula One Grand Prix, the British Grand Prix. And we were there for a couple of practice sessions today, and it was just a blast. Really had a lot of fun. And these tickets, these hospitality tickets, I could really get used to this kind of living. Really, really wonderful food and just really great location on the circuit and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, best part of the day, other than the time that we had at the circuit, is that we're having a, what do we call it? The APG Great
North
Slightly
meetup.
North meetup?
Slightly north. Yeah, that was it.
So slightly north of where we were just a couple of days ago for the 4th of July celebration in London. And we're here, as I mentioned, at Nigel's place, and a great turnout. I wasn't really expecting this many to show up for the APG Great Slightly North meetup up in...
Perhaps it was the name, Jeff.
It could be, because it was quite a name. Anyway, so we, speaking of the wonderful folks that have shown up for this meetup, we'll start with this gentleman to
Ruben.
my right, Ruben, and he's going to hold the other microphone, and he's going to tell us about himself and anything else he'd like to say.
Sure, Ruben. Really enjoying the pizza and the beer here with us this evening. Private pilot, and it's been fantastic to catch up with Jeff and Nick.
You flew up, didn't you?
I was going to try and do that, but it didn't work out.
Ah, Ray-Ban. Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll let it go this time.
Yeah.
Next time, got to fly in. Which way do you want to go? This way?
Anyway. We can go anyway.
This gentleman is Andrew. Tell us about yourself. And
So I'm a radio producer, so I thought I'd come and get some lessons on how to put a podcast
We're
together.
expecting some very professional audio here.
Right, they're going to be blown away by whatever you're going to say.
Yes, I'm a radio producer. I work on a breakfast show 4 days a week and work on a sports show at the weekend. So it's just great to get out on a sunny evening here and just meet you guys again and hear all your fabulous aviation stories.
Yeah, well, it's great to see you again, and I'm glad you were able to make it.
Good.
And I think we'll continue to move around the round table. Well, it's not quite round. The oval table. And
meet Chris.
Chris.
I love his T-shirt.
Yeah, it's great. Formula One. I guess that's the historical evolution.
Yeah, for Formula One cars throughout the decades. So, hi, yeah, I'm Chris. I'm a private pilot and a big Formula One fan, so I thought this was a great event to turn up to. My first APG meetup, although I have met the guys at some previous PT UK meetups. Don't talk about them.
Too late. Now we're going to have to edit that out.
But yeah, I've had a good evening catching up with people and some beer and some pizza.
Awesome. Very nice to meet you, Chris. And speaking of PTUK and those awful people, we have one of the hosts. Yeah, great, thank you. Great segue. One of the, I'd say, at least in his own mind, the best host of the PTUK is here with us this evening.
Well, yeah, the thing is that...
Neville, sorry.
Yeah.
Wrong name.
That's awkward, isn't it?
Very awkward.
The thing is that I should be doing a show tonight, but I've decided to ditch that. I'm going to come and see you guys.
Well, you have your priorities straight.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see you again, Jeff. Thanks ever so much for coming over. And yeah, the weather is fantastic today, isn't it? But I'm a bit concerned about tomorrow at the Grand Prix because there's thunder and heavy showers forecast. But that makes motor racing even more exciting, doesn't it, in my experience? So, yeah, but it's great to see you again, Jeff, and thanks ever so much for being with us today.
That was a perfect opportunity, Nev, for you to call me by the wrong name.
I'd never do that. I would never do that.
All right. Unfortunately, at the moment, Neville is not here. He's over...
Neville's right beside you. Nigel's not here. Which straight beer have you been drinking, Jeff? Well,
I'm just getting old. I'm almost 60.
The old hooky is pretty good stuff, I must admit.
How old are you?
I'm 80.
No, you're not.
Well, I'm 68.
Something like that. And gosh, I don't know what I'm going to be like when I'm his
Well,
age.
I only have to use half my brain now because the half that I used to use when I was an airline pilot, I've rejected. I've been there. It's no longer working.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to reject half of mine.
I thought you already had.
Well, I know. I'll be some kind of an
Idiot. I can't even think of the right adjective to use. Anyway, so
it's jet lag and beer and pizza.
That's it.
Yeah, it's sucked all the brain out of your heads.
No, but anyway, I know that your name is Captain Bob.
That's it, mess me. And it shall be forevermore, Captain Bob.
And he's my uncle. Almost old enough to be my uncle. Anyway, Captain Nick, so what did you think of the meetup so far and the pizza and beer?
Well, I think it's great that we had this fine selection of guests because we only ordered 4 pizzas and we've only got 2 barrels of beer.
Well, we destroyed every single one of them.
I was going to say, there's out of 4 entire large pizzas, there are 3 slices left. Oh, no, I think 2 slices left now. So excellent job, gentlemen. I think we have considerably more beer than pizza. So I think they need to tuck into the ale a little more.
Okay, if you insist. So what did you think of our outing today at the Silverstone circuit?
Oh, Silverstone, my very first Grand Prix. In fact, my very first visit to a motor racing circuit. And I have to say, I was absolutely gobsmacked. It was brilliant. I don't think if I'd be absolutely honest, I don't think I'd have expected that level of luxury on, just visiting a motor racing circuit, but it was fabulous. Having said that, watching the cars was superb. I really enjoyed trying to master the technique of taking photographs of them. I had no idea what they'll turn out like.
A lot of rear wheels.
Exactly. Tracking a moving object doing, 180 miles an hour in front of you, and
especially in such close proximity.
We were right on top of them, weren't we? That requires a lot of skill. So skills I've yet to acquire, and I think at my age I probably never will.
Yeah, he'll acquire them.
But it was fun, and I'm hoping some pictures we'll be able to put on the show will illustrate how wonderful it was.
Yes. Well, thanks so much for coordinating this meetup and ordering the pizza and beer and providing all the transportation and hosting me at your and Jilly's wonderful home in List.
Right, that's very kind.
It's been great about this trip.
That's right.
Just another high point right here.
Well, we're looking forward to doing the next show on Monday when Captain Nige comes back from Canada and his amazing motorcycle journey. Well, I'm sure we'll hear more about that. But enormous thanks to his lovely wife, who he left here with instructions to look after us and look after anyone who came round hunting for beer and pizza. So Lou was fantastic, and she deserves a vote of thanks from us all.
Wait a minute, Captain Nige was right here.
Oh no, that's Captain Nev. Sorry, all those ends.
Yeah. My wife for so many years said, Jeff, a mind is a terrible thing to lose.
She was right. Obviously understood you well.
She did.
Brilliant. Right, well, that's it. We're going to hand it back to you in the...
And you.
And me.
In the studio.
In the studio. Cheers.
Cheers.
We are unmuted now. There you go. So that was our second meetup. It was great to meet all of those APG community members here at this beautiful setting. And the pizza was great, and the beer was great as well. It was Hook Norton Hooky and Off the Hook.
Yeah, Off the Hook.
The Off the Hook IPA, which I'm drinking now, I have to recommend.
Now, when they say, if you had told me there was a barrel of beer, I would think it was like a 50-gallon drum or so size of volume of beer. But how much is in a barrel?
10 liters.
10 liters?
Yeah, I mean, they call it a mini pin. So, it's 18 pints. 18 British pints, not American pints.
Half pints. American half pints.
Yeah, exactly right. Because those American pints are like a fraction.
Liz is trying to move us on.
Yeah.
On Saturday, Liz, we went back to the Silverstone circuit and attended free practice number 3, and then the qualies in the afternoon. It was an interest. That first day, it was pretty straightforward as far as
getting to our hospitality parking. The second day, we approached from a different angle, I think. Well, no, we
Nick's
didn't. It
navigation
was still,
was
but they
rubbish.
keep every day they keep changing the traffic patterns
And the
and the
signage.
A43 and the signage and everything else. And on Saturday, they decided to close the A43 and use both northbound and southbound lanes north, so that everything going to Silverstone. And at the last second, we're going, oh, what's all this? We see a bunch of cones and some signs, and we're trying to assess what the signs are trying to tell us,
it
and we
was
both
stupid
kind of went,
because the
"Let's go this-"
cones arrived before we could read the sign because the sign was set back.
Yeah, and when we read this sign, it was like, oh, yeah,
Oh.
we should have stayed over there on that
damn,
side.
yeah.
And then so we were stuck over there, and in a lot of traffic. We ended up entering the circuit from the west side, and we were supposed to come in on the other side. And I don't know. We finally managed to get there, but it took some time.
I know,
Don't worry, ladies and
frustration.
gentlemen, these guys fly airplanes and they'll take it from A to B safely.
Well, the FMS
I
was not
don't.
working.
Not anymore.
Anyway, so I was kind of surprised. I thought we were going to be out another hour or so before we finally got to the parking lot, but we got there. It was like, I was kind of surprised how they were routing us through. That looked like roads that we weren't supposed to be using. You know,
Yeah,
it was,
and fields and strange car parks and muddy bits and concrete bits and
Yeah.
bits where the pedestrians were having to jump to the sides.
Lots of
to get out
pedestrians.
of our way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we got
we
there.
only hit a few.
Right.
And the nice thing about that Audi was it's got quite a soft front.
Well, all the previous dents from previous.
So the people
And it's
slide
red.
off quite easily.
So you don't really see the blood stains.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that works well.
So that was a bonus. Yeah, so we got into the, and talking about going in. So the Fusion Lounge is a hospitality seating place, venue, I guess, that you have to go, it's on the inner track. So you go on the outside, you go through the gate, and then you walk underneath a pedestrian tunnel, underneath the track at that point. I'm not sure exactly what part of the track that is. I can't remember it starts with a C.
Cops.
Cops. I think it's around Cops. Anyway, go in, and then we came back up in the infield, and then we took a double-decker bus around to the Fusion Lounge. And this place is just like luxury. Everything is super nice. The number of staff they had there to attend to everything, and like, you know, you turn around and everywhere you look, there were people asking if they could get you anything, and they're clearing your table, and they're putting new silverware there for the next meal, and it's pretty amazing.
It was luxurious, to say the least, and they looked after us very well. It was delightful.
Yep. And they had a covered grandstand next to the Fusion Lounge that was just for people that were in those hospitality suites, and it was very nice. Really close to the track. Amazing. These cars, you know, you see them on television, but when you're actually there and you hear them and you see them going from, I don't know, 150 miles an hour or faster down to, I don't know, 50, 60 miles per hour before they make a 90-degree turn. It's just phenomenal. It's just very, very impressive. So, yeah, we had a great time seeing the whole spectacle of all these amazing cars. And we got to see Formula 3, Formula 2, Porsche supercars, and some historic cars as well. It's just pretty
It was indeed a fine spectacle and very exciting.
Mm-hmm. Well, Saturday night, Liz is asking if we did anything on Saturday night. Oh, yeah, that's right. We came back to, wait, what? I'm getting confused now. What did we do Saturday night?
Oh, Barry.
Oh, Barry, that's right. I was thinking we were with Nige, but he wasn't home yet. No, we weren't with Nige. We were with
Barry had
Lennon.
come to the meetup.
Yes.
He was the vacant seat in the photo.
Indeed, that's right. And then he said, "What are you guys doing Saturday night? Because I know all the restaurants around here. We could go out for a few beers and a bite to eat," which we did. And his lovely wife drove, which allowed us all to partake. And we ended up in Chipping Norton, which is a beautiful little town centre. I love the buildings, all of their beautiful yellow stone, and looking fantastic. And we bounced around from various pubs. We went to the Checkers. That's one. I can't remember
The first one, no, that was the second one. The first one was the one on the street on the corner, and then we walked over to the Checkers for pub number 2, and then we walked over from there, and then it was starting to rain. Kind of got soaked, actually. From there, we walked over to the Indian restaurant.
Yep, had a good curry
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of pints.
Yeah, and then we moved from there to the third pub, which I can't remember the name of either.
It was like a little hotel.
Did you see Caleb? You know Caleb? He's the star of that dude with the diddly squat place.
Oh,
no, he used to do the motor show that I don't particularly like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Caleb's a star.
Yeah.
No,
we didn't see him, sadly.
Or maybe we did. I don't know.
But we drank a lot of beer. I know that.
We did.
Drank a lot of beer, and just
And-
for a change.
And Nick made fun of me the last
Oh,
place. I was so stuffed
Have
and
we
had
got-
so
have we-
much to
have we
drink.
not got that video off my
Oh, do we
phone?
have a video?
Well, if you remember, I had a small video on my phone.
I know, but did you send it to me so I could play it on the show?
I don't know. How do you want
Probably
me to send
not.
it to you?
Airdrop it to me.
Okay, I'll find
They
it.
rehearse this, ladies and gentlemen. They get it all
Exactly
together.
right.
Yeah. But in the meantime, what else can we talk about as we vamp?
Curry. Did you enjoy English curry?
Next day was the big race, yes. It was great, great curry. I had the biryani rice with, what do you call it? The chicken that they fix, tandoori chicken bites.
maybe, yeah.
In the,
I don't see you.
Well, I'm here. Oh, maybe I need to turn on the Wi-Fi.
Did Nick have a vindaloo?
No, I had something sensible. I had a mixed tandoori grill, which was very nice.
There I am.
we go.
Sorry about that. Hey, look at that. Somebody's trying to
It'll only take
airdrop something
10
to me.
minutes 'cause it's
Oh, I hope not.
30-second video.
You could sort of say who Barry is.
Oh, that's
yeah.
a good point. Now, if you remember the plain tale, 4 QFIs walked into a bar. The Irish-sounding one, probably because he's Irish. That was Barry, and he told the fantastic story of him taking his student on a navigation exercise in Scotland, where they had to go from a start point, and a couple of minutes later they were going to hit an imaginary target. And it was, you navigate on this high definition map.
50 thou ordnance
There you
survey.
go. And about halfway down this map, you're going to pass Loch Ness, which is a huge
20 miles
body
long,
of water.
mile wide.
Yes. And come out the other side. Anyway, he was going, yeah, we've passed this crossroads, and there's the church with the tower, and he comes over a rise expecting to see Loch Ness, and there was nothing but dry fields because the guy
Got in
is
the wrong
set off in
heading.
the wrong direction, and he starts easing up as if he's going to be able to see Loch Ness from where he is, and his head's swiveling around trying to find this body of water, and Barry's sitting in the back saying, "Is everything all right? Loch Ness?" And he said, "Well, it's been an awfully dry summer."
I mean, Barry's a card because he
Absolutely.
tells another story. It's in the same plain tale. He tells another story about, there he is doing a lightning aerobatic display show, and he's at 5,000 feet, gets himself into a spin upside down, and he says, well, there's something wrong with the fuel, and now it's not handling right. And then he said, and then the canopy came off the aeroplane. I think what? Because he'd pulled the ejection seat handle.
Yes.
he thought this aeroplane's a load of rubbish because
Now the
canopy's come
canopy's
off the
fallen off.
He is quite a character.
He
Yeah.
is. Anyway, he took us out, and we had a really nice evening. He's a very funny guy, and he never lets the conversation die away. He's always got another story to tell.
Well, I found the video.
Oh, excellent.
And we're ready to play it. So let's take a look. Oops. Here we go. Okay.
This is just American pint of Guinness.
Oh, look at this! Oh my God!
The frost
That's
coming
enough.
up his nose.
I don't want you to suffer a permanent problem.
Well, I know you're
What?
trying to embarrass me,
Well done, mate.
which you do very well.
Do you have on?
By the way,
on sweet remix?
there's a real Guinness.
Real Guinness.
There you go. Thank you very much again, Captain Nick.
My pleasure.
For
Thank you to
sparing my
Barry
feelings.
and his darling wife who picked us up and drove us back here and dropped us off. Very merry bunch of new friends.
Yes, very much so. Okay, so that was Saturday night. Sunday, we got up even earlier to try to avoid the traffic. Yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
going to Silverstone
We
Circuit.
must have
on
avoided some of the traffic.
I guess we did, but and we had a better idea this time. We went up the same way and we stayed in the left lane and got on the correct side of the track. And it wasn't too. Actually, it wasn't really that bad. We got there pretty quickly. It was leaving after the race that was a little difficult, but we got there early enough to actually have some of the breakfast food that they prepare, which is just
Great
amazing.
sausages.
We did a crew log. What did we do on the crew log? We were sitting at our table and we had breakfast and we were waiting for the race to start. Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So those who are patrons on Patreon can view that little video that we did. That was a video one, and then the first crew log we did from Nick's car shortly after we got on the road heading up to Silverstone on Friday. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we did. And then we finally, it came to race time, and we moved over to the grandstand and enjoyed an amazing race. It was pretty exciting to see Lando Norris, McLaren. He was P2 in the qualies, and he ended up at the finish of the race P2. And what was the name of the guy that won the race? And was a pole?
I don't know. Some
Dutch
bloke.
bloke. Starts with a V.
Very
Very
nasty man.
Has he got any points ahead of anybody
No,
else?
I don't think so. No.
I didn't.
Some
get
other
many
dude
points.
anyway.
Yeah.
I,
Lewis started.
Yeah.
Well, he started 7, and then he made it up to third position.
yeah. Orlando, the guy that was had been top in the qualies, just beaten by Max. He took the lead right off the line, didn't he?
Yeah, he beat Max off the line, which
And
was
led
and he
for
held
about the first five laps.
Yeah, several laps.
Yeah, until DRS came in, and then Max, overpowered him.
He
as
just
he does.
drove by him like it was
Yeah.
a Sunday drive, which it was. But
But he held on to second, and Lewis moved up from 7th to 3rd. And so Norris and Hamilton, both British, were on the podium. I don't know when the last time that we had 2 Brits in the first 3 places. It was great.
Which was great, of course, for the British Grand
Oh
Prix.
yeah, absolutely. It was good.
The home
the
crowd.
cheering went on for ages. It was great.
Very excited. All in all, it was an amazing, great experience. Yes, Liz. It was everything that I was hoping it would be. And
then
we came back and met this guy.
No. I want to hear about the car park.
Oh, well,
nothing happened.
You go to the fastest cars in the world whizzing around, and you watch them for 3 days, and then you sit in the car park for an hour and a half, sending me messages saying, "Well, Nigel haven't left the car park yet. We'll be there soon."
Well, it wasn't quite that bad, but we had been positioned at the far end of the car park, and the only exit was the complete opposite end of where we were parked. So we joined the queue, and of course, everyone that had been parked in front of us, between us and the exit, was joining the same queue because the exit is only 1 car wide. And so we sat there watching all these other people get in their cars, drive, join the queue, force their way into the queue ahead of us. And we just weren't moving. We were just sitting there like lemons. So every time someone tried to get into the queue in front of me, we had the roof down. So I could stick my nose in the way and I'd shout, "We've been here for 45 minutes. Get back. Mind your business." Whatever.
And I'm looking at him like, sorry.
Did you say you're
Sorry.
number one again? You know,
No, I didn't. I was like apologizing to everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
Yeah,
but
you sit there for 45 minutes and see how it feels.
He was not very patient. He was not practicing the golden rule. Or I guess these other people weren't either.
Well,
Yeah.
they certainly weren't being they were all trying to push their way into the queue.
Yeah. Yeah, it was frustrating.
Anyway,
we
got on
sat
the
there
road.
for a long
we
time.
We found a very good route to get home, which was in beautiful countryside. And
Mm-hmm.
by the time we arrived and found Captain Nige sitting here with a beer waiting to greet us, then we had a very pleasant rest of the drive. And then, of course, Captain Nige wanted to tell us all about his exploits in Canada, but we've run out of time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's cool.
the
I'm
end of the
moving right
show.
along then.
No, I asked because I was very curious about this trip that you took into Canada.
It's cool. You've already touched on how good my wife is at looking after strangers and vagabonds at Pitch Up on the Night, but she's also
she's awesome.
Even cooler because she let me go off for 2 weeks to Canada to go biking on Harleys. Dana, eat your heart out. And it was perfect. Flew into Calgary, WestJet. Quite good, actually, because this is an aviation podcast. It's not just about racing and riding Harleys.
Oh.
And then we went clockwise down, just touching the top of Montana, and then west up towards Osoyoos, had Canada Day. Congratulations, Liz. And that was good. Bought... Oh yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yes, whilst we had a day off in Osoyoos and went off for some breakfast in a local park. Can't remember the name of the park, but had this really neat guy who basically gets up at about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and does pulled pork sandwiches, which seems to be the Canadian basic diet. And he wraps them up in sandwiches, baps, wraps, and things. And he has one minor failing, and that's that he has to add sauces to it. If you got the photo of the menu,
She's got the photo up.
Oh, it's up, yeah, and it's got kakalaki sauces in it.
Kakalaki.
Kakalaki, kakalaki, kakalaki all day long.
Sorry, we're bringing it down. There you go.
And so I sent it off to Dr. Stuff, and she said, you want to have the second one, which is the southern one, I think, because it's got the mustard sauce, and I can't read it, but I think it's the second one.
The first
down.
one there, the South Carolina mustard.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So anyway, that was great, good food, and then we headed up to Jasper, and if you don't know the area, that's where you start getting up into the proper big mountains, and it's fantastic. And headed east from Jasper back to Calgary in time for a bit of stampede. And honestly speaking, I've got to give them a plug. It's still going on now for the next 4 or 5 days. The Calgary Stampede, if you've never seen it, would have been worth the flight just to go across to the Calgary Stampede and see the show there. It's not just rodeo and cowboys and what have you. It's just a great show. So ended up with that and then came back here and went downhill from there on.
I have to. I've been when I used to fly to or 727s in the 90s. We went up through Calgary and Edmonton, Alberta. Beautiful, beautiful province. And several times when I laid over there, the Stampede was going on, but I never had enough time to go to any of the Stampede shows or anything like that. But I'm definitely going to have to do it.
Is I said, Jeff, you got to go there in the RV, and Jeff said, well, he's probably going to have lost his driving license by the time his RV's delivered. It's coming on time, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, well, yeah, I talked about that on the last show. It's maybe not until May or so next year, but that's all right.
Yeah,
I'm it's
lovely
worth the wait.
country you got there, Liz. Lovely country, and thanks. So that's it.
Okay.
And then we get to today.
Yeah, there was something, we're going to talk about that in a moment. Oh, when you were talking, Nigel, Nev.
No, Captain Nev, I
can't
answered
keep
to anything.
things too straight. Anyway, you'll notice that we have this little name tag. It's one of the business cards for the APG show. And this little plastic thing it was some kind of a silent auction going on at our table. Or, I mean, not the table, the entire venue, the Fusion Lounge. And so Nick took the card that was originally in here, and then he popped the business card there, and then we put that on the table. So we felt like we were kind of VIP corporate, important people. Well, we were important in our own minds. But speaking of the table, we met some really, really amazing people. Let's see, the couple at the end of the table, they were there when we first arrived on Friday, and they're from Australia, Sydney, Australia area, and they were there all 3 days, and we shared the table with them all 3 days, and then another couple sitting between where Nick and I were sitting across from each other, so there were the two in the middle. There's 6, it's set for 6. And another couple from I guess they lived in Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And the lady was from Ukraine, born in Ukraine, and living also in Puerto Rico. And I believe they're going to get married in September. So they were on a big trip. I think they had gone to several places, including I think Greece was the last place that they were staying and visiting, and before they came to England for the race. Anyway, just really super people that we got to share our table with, and ended up becoming friends with and hanging out with them. So
it was great. Yeah, they were very nice people, and of course it's very easy to make new friends when you're half sozzled, full of food and good wine.
Now speak for yourself. I was completely sober the entire time.
Yeah,
that's right.
True.
Yeah.
I barely touched a drop.
Yeah, that's true.
Jeff had
He
a
was
drink,
very
all
good.
my drink plus his own.
I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But it was pretty amazing. Like every time you turn around, somebody was pouring more champagne. Pimm's. Kind of like the 200th. Yeah, exactly. Although I did much better this time than I did in the 200th. I didn't break down crying like I did in the 200th.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was so nice. That was, I don't know. It reminded me when I was looking at the video shot of us in this little APG business card there. Before I move on to that, Liz, today we ended up going for a wonderful pub lunch at Edgefield.
Edge Hill
pub, right?
Castle at Edge Hill.
Edge Hill Castle.
Castle.
Oh, okay. I'm going to let Nige. Why don't you go to is that the first one I have in there, Liz? Okay. Go to the first one.
Okay, so that's the castle. And
Yeah, that's
it's
the
a
castle.
folly, if anyone knows anything about British architecture. It's built about 100 years after the Battle of Edge Hill. Don't ask me the dates. Liz is the expert on English history.
15 something.
Thank you.
1542 or something, I think.
And and it's not really a castle. It just looks like a castle to sort of commemorate the battle.
I think that's a table that which we were sitting.
And that's a view. It's difficult to see, but that's where we sat for lunch. And in the far distances are the plains that the bad guys marched across, and the good guys, the royalists, are up at the top of the hill. And whoever was the commander of the army said, okay, well, let's have a fair fight. And instead of holding the high ground where we are on this huge hill, let's go down and meet them on the plains. Tactical error, Putin style. No politics, sorry. And anyway, at the end of the fight, when tens of thousands of people are dead, both armies retreated and called it a draw. That's why it's the first battle of the Civil War.
There you go.
Just beyond this little sign in this picture, it drops off quite. It's actually literally the edge of the hill. I mean, it's a very steep drop off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But very pleasant beer.
Mm-hmm.
We had more hooky beer and some very nice food. It was definitely
That's inside the castle.
Yes.
Look at that. Isn't that great? Yeah. Well done, boys.
Yeah. So we had a good time.
That's another memory.
And then we scurried back to Nigel's place, and here we are.
Here we are.
Sitting at the table and recording
Absolutely.
the
Stone
show.
cold sober. Stone cold sober.
Yes.
doing
Cold
an
Sober.
aviation podcast.
Yes, about Formula One and motorcycling across Canada.
Yeah. But that's okay. It's my podcast. And if I want to talk about this stuff, I will.
It's my podcast.
Yeah.
It's my podcast.
And I
I'll
can
cry if I want.
I can cry. Yeah.
Well, you can do that too.
Episode 200. Anyway, so the plans now, we're going to have a wonderful evening and dinner here.
Roast lamb. Since we got
Roast
rid of
lamb.
all this rubbish off the table, we'll have
Mhm.
roast lamb. Roast
And,
lamb. Soyuz red wine.
Oh, can't wait. And then tomorrow morning, Nick and I are going to head back in the red Audi. What do you call her? The red lady?
The Scarlet Lady.
The Scarlet Lady, I'm sorry. And watch out, Jilly. And we're going to head back to Nick and Jilly's place. And I think we're going to have another pub lunch.
Yeah, Jill is taking us out for a pub lunch because she said you guys are out bowling tomorrow night, so you won't have time to eat a proper meal. So we'll give you a pub lunch, and then you can have a snack before you go out. And we're heading back to the club for a league match.
Excellent. And then the next day, we're going to be Wednesday. We're going to be meeting up with another couple of people in the community up toward Gatwick.
Yeah, we're going to have a quiet day. We'll walk the dogs and do something sensible for a change, recover from our hangovers. And then we're off up to Gatwick to meet the lovely
Your
Heart
brother,
Doctor. My brother.
Mark Anderson.
Mark Anderson.
But it's not really his brother.
Yeah.
It sounds like
I
it
know.
is.
But
Yeah, cardiologist.
yeah, a very good friend of the show who has provided lots of good advice for various pilots I know, including myself. So he's a great source of knowledge about your heart. You'd hope he would be anyway, but he is, and very generous with his time. So we'll have a beer with him in what was it? The old Six Bells, ye old Six Bells in Hawley. So if you just happen to be passing, as long as there's not a horde of you, please pop in and have a beer with us.
Yeah. And about what time? Probably around
6.
6 o'clock? Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Yeah. Reach out to us. Contact us if you want any more information. You happen to be in the area. That'd be great to see you.
You get a free hat, by the way. So.
Yeah, you do.
And indeed, yes. Just giving them away.
I am giving them away. And I think that, have we finally caught up with everything, Liz? Is that
It's
it?
Wednesday, go back Thursday. Yeah. that's
Yeah, and
cool.
I go back on Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll be home Thursday evening in Atlanta. Yeah, I still have to figure out how I'm going to get home because I took Uber to the airport. So I guess I could Uber back. We'll see. Uber home. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, been a great time. I'm loving all of it, and I still have more fun things to experience while I'm here before I head back to America. And so, why don't we go ahead and... yes, I do want to do that, Liz. I was thinking, what is she talking about? Let me go over here
In a few
to
days.
Evernote. And we want to mention for the last time no, not ever, for this year. Well, maybe. They may just decide not to contact us.
When they've listened to all the variations we've put on there.
Yeah, I have to say, last week when you weren't there, Nick, hope you don't mind, I didn't use your version. I used my version. You know, it was a little shorter. You know, we were kind of pushed for time, and I didn't want to offend those
we're not
fine
pushed
folks
for time tonight.
at Pilot Edge. Do we have to do? Okay.
Yeah, you have
For
to
the
do
last time, we're going to do Nick's version. Just to remind you, well, no, let's just go right to it. Nick's version of SimVenture 2023.
Get out the way!
I know.
Help.
Flying to Oshkosh this year, or know someone who is? The famous Fisk arrival and AirVenture can be very complex, busy, and fast-paced. Whether you're a rookie or a veteran, everyone can benefit from some training and proficiency prior to following the railroad tracks and rocking their wings. Luckily, you can prepare ahead of time using your home flight simulator. X-Plane 11 Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, Prepared, or FSX is your gateway to participate in SimVenture. SimVenture is put on by Pilot Edge and has the actual Oshkosh air traffic controllers volunteering for your benefit to help you prepare for AirVenture. It all happens July 13th through 16th. Visit pilotedge.net/SimVenture to learn more.
And again, we apologize to Pilot Edge.
I don't.
And so check it out if you're going to be flying to Oshkosh and you want to kind of get some practice. Or if you just want to be entertained and amused, head over to pilotedge.net/SimVenture. I believe that's it. Yeah, Andy's meetup in Atlanta. Let's see. We are Matt. Oh, Liz, you put that in my head. Matt, that was Liz's fault. Make note of that. Okay. Matt is going to be, in fact, he is already there in America. They flew into Dallas, Fort Worth, I believe, on Friday last week, and they're doing a big travel, vacation, holiday road trip kind of thing.
A320, Matt.
A320, yes. Not Matt from PTUK.
Matt.
Matt, who he won't give us his last name for legal purposes or something. Pilot Matt, yeah.
Well, that's
the
because
A320.
his name is Matt Girlsblouse.
Matt what?
Matt Girlsblouse.
Matt Girlsblouse.
That's not legal.
I don't really understand what that means. Okay, well, let's move on then. He is going to have a meetup in North America in Atlanta at the DeKalb Peachtree Airport, PDK, on July 23rd at 6 p.m., 2 weeks from yesterday. We're recording this on Monday, the 10th of July. So if you're in the Atlanta area on the 23rd, head over to PDK and meet Matt. And I hope to be there. I think Steph's going to be there as well. And so it'll be a good time. And yeah, that's it for that. What else, Liz? Okay. All right. And I'm wondering why my Stream Deck stopped working. There we go. Okay. Let's do this. Oh, we're going to do a coffee fund, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we have no slides for... Oh, wait, before we do that, don't we want to do the artwork for the last episode? Okay, all right, she's going to pop up the cover art for episode 576. Yes, very dark, Liz. The title of the show was Going to the Gulag, and it is a very dark, solemn-looking landscape.
A bit of a somber story, wasn't that? I wasn't on the show, so I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 6 years.
Yeah,
in
the
Gulag.
Russian pilot of that crash that we covered a couple of years ago, maybe more than 3 years ago now, on the Sukhoi Super 100, I think they call it, Sukhoi Super 100 jet that kind of caught fire after they returned rather hastily and kind of botched the landing. 41 passengers died.
Can I just comment on that? Because I looked at
Yes.
the video only a couple of days ago.
Right.
And I mean, it was shocking. And you all said how shocking it was. What happened. But did you notice people were still bringing their carry-ons?
Oh, yeah.
Off. The fifth guy down the left hand, down the L1 door, he had his bag. And he wasn't the only one. And you just think, dude, you stopped to bring your bag and 41 people behind you didn't get out?
Yeah.
It's all about me. Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying.
Horrible.
Yeah. So I wonder if he's going to a gulag. I somehow doubt it.
Well, he wasn't the only one.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
they should make it an offence.
They should, as our show is every week.
Yeah, but this is another. It's partly Mid-Journey, actually mainly Mid-Journey. This one, they produced a very startling image of a gulag in very dark clouds and a horrible, wet, muddy road, and then managed to find a picture of someone in uniform walking away and planted him and striding down in his smart pilot's uniform towards this awful gulag. So I didn't add any fripperies to this one. No logos, no show numbers, because I thought it was just a horrendous thing to happen to any pilot, even if he did make mistakes. We don't expect to necessarily go to prison because we don't do them on purpose.
Right.
It's not like you can be negligent, but it's not like you are deliberately trying to kill people. So, I've sympathy for anyone in that situation.
Well, yeah, and we just had a case here in the UK where a few years ago, about 3 years ago, there was a train driver. It's more of a tram, above ground, light rail type thing in Croydon, which is just south of London. And personally, from what I understood, I think he had a micro nap because he was fatigued. He was always doing the early shifts and what have you. And he went too fast around a bend, it derailed, and a load of people injured, and I think about 7 people died. So wasn't a nice accident. But they tried to prosecute him, just the same as this Russian pilot was prosecuted. But this is now in the UK, and once you cross that threshold of apportioning blame and taking criminal prosecutions against the driver, the pilot, whomever, it's very fortunately, when it got to the High Court, it was a jury type thing, they acquitted him. But it would have set also a dangerous precedent in law for us pilots in the Western world. Once you start saying, oh no, yeah, I understand deliberate negligence. If I try to fly under the bridge in Hong Kong or something and clip the tail and 300 people dead, sure, I should swing for that. But not when he's probably fatigued. There are human factors involved. And so it's a nasty trade.
Exactly. And I've covered this in my recent plain tale about taking risks. Our profession often requires us to land in very difficult conditions, often in foreign countries, and sometimes it's easy to forget that they don't have the same legal systems that we are used to in America and in Europe. They often will put you in prison first. That'll be their first action. And then you might face a kangaroo court. You never know. So it's very important to make sure you're adequately protected, at least to the best of your ability, when you're an international airline pilot flying into countries where their legal system does not appear to be as fair as ours.
Exactly. We covered it when you weren't there, as you said, and I'm glad that we were able to discuss it a little bit more. And in fact, I think Nick Camacho kind of mentioned, that you have, stressed this so many times, that what do they call it? Just culture approach to what we do. And
in other words, if you make a mistake, you almost advertise it. You come clean, you advise the authorities in the hope that they will learn about the mistake you made, because you aren't doing it deliberately. There often has to be a really good reason why you made an error. Sometimes people are just forgetful, but sometimes they're overtired, or they're overworked, or there are other mitigating circumstances that would lead them to do that. And the more you punish people, the less likely they are to come forward and admit their mistakes. And the one thing about the aviation industry is that we should all feel safe to admit our mistakes in a hope that it will make the industry safer.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for the artwork. And I think now we can talk about the Coffee Fund.
Johnny, how much more coffee?
No thanks.
I love coffee. I love tea. I love the APG community. Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is great. The Coffee Fund. Your way, dear listener, to support the show financially if you have the resources to do so. And we have a couple of different ways for you to do that. One is the Cafe Coffee Fund Classic Method. And let's see, we have Magnus from that first meetup video from
lovely
Sweden.
guy from Sweden.
He gave us the
Sweden gin.
Stockholm
Sipping gin.
It was sipping.
Gave us the Stockholm syndrome.
Yes, and he sent us a very nice donation via the Coffee Fund Classic method. And of course, our pal Dr. Karim, Moses Karim, sent us another generous donation. Thank you very much, sir. And I believe, now if I've forgotten any of you out there, I do apologize. Please send me an email and, slap me and tell me you forgot me. But I think that covers it since the last time we did the Coffee Fund. And the other way that you can become a financial supporter of the show is via Patreon. And since the last episode, we have a new producer, and his name, Giles Robinson. So thank you so much, Giles. If you want to join the Coffee Fund, please head over to airlinepilotguide.com/coffee. You'll be glad you did. And
we will too.
I couldn't have said it better.
Captain, incoming message.
All right, it's time for feedback, and gonna ask the control room here. 3A is what we're headed toward. And this is from Logan Lynch. I don't know if he's with us live or not today. He's probably out there doing his job. He checked in earlier, but I think he's out working, as he should be. Anyway, he asked us to do this. He says, "Hey, APG crew, would you mind sharing this on the next show, please?" Yes. No, we don't mind. Let's see. Oshkosh Air Venture 23 is quickly approaching, and I wanted to make it known to anyone that's attending that we will be having a quick little meetup at the Brown Arch on Thursday, the 27th at 10:30 a.m. We'll be taking a group photo besides Glenn's brick. And this, of course, is Glenn Towler, who passed away, I guess, a little over a year ago. And that was Glenn's tradition to have everybody that he knows, part of his community, to meet up at the Brown Arch. And many of those in his community are also members of our APG community. Meet up at the Brown Arch at a certain day, certain time during AirVenture, and have a group photo taken. And now we had a brick. Several of us donated to the Experimental Aircraft Association, the EAA's fund, and Memorial Fund, and we have had a brick. Actually, Hillel was a big part of making this happen. In addition to managing Skype and taking showers wherever I am, Hillel also spearheaded this effort to have this brick made for Glenn, and it's right there, right in front of the Brown Arch. And so they're going to have a big group of folks there, whoever can make it, at 10:30, on the 27th, Thursday, at Osh 23.
It's a little more than a brick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
quite a large plaque.
It's like a plaque, but it's like a floor tile, like a
yeah.
It is. It's about, maybe, I don't know, I guess maybe 12, 13 inches by 12, 13 in a square.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Oh, yeah. A suitable monument.
And Glenn, we talked about, I don't know, if you're new to the show, then you may have no idea who we're talking about. Glenn was a longtime listener, big supporter of aviation in general, but especially our show, APG, and many other shows, aviation podcasts out there as well. In fact, he was a contributor to several shows out there, and he'd send audio feedback quite often to us. Yeah, he'd end his thing with "Glenn out," and from New Zealand, and I forgot how many Air Ventures he attended, but it was like over 10, I think, a lot. And he knew so many people. I think we kind of gave him the moniker the mayor of Oshkosh, and he
wasn't he awarded the Overseas Visitor of the Year award several times? And yeah, that's right. And he always used to go to the overseas visitors. They had a special dinner or something, or a luncheon. Right. And he was well known and well loved.
And sadly, he passed, well before his time, in our opinion. And Nick and Nev went to the memorial in England.
Yeah, absolutely, because he had family here, and he arrived in order to attend the funeral of his mother. And sadly, within a few days of arriving, he was taken ill himself. And so, it was very poignant and very sad. So, it was lovely that we could help contribute towards a memorial for him at Oshkosh. So he will never be forgotten.
Yep. And so thanks, Logan, for mentioning this. I hope, we'll mention it again on the next show, and hopefully there'll be a great turnout. I'm hoping to visit AirVenture. I'm not sure when yet. I don't know what my schedule is going to be like the second half of July, but I'd like to get up there at least for a day or two. And if you have a place for me to stay, please contact me, because I don't have the motorhome yet. Oh, if you're a very attractive single woman, yes, please call. And, anyway. Now I'm all distracted and flustered. Yeah? Okay, well. Okay, number 16. Okay? Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we're going to move to feedback number 16 from Tarek Marilis. And first of all, I have to say, when I met Tarek at the meetup at RAF Hendon, and then we were talking together at the Beaufort pub. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Good. I'm trying. I really am.
You
Just
are
ask
trying.
these guys.
Very true.
Yeah.
I see. And I thought, I don't know. I mean, Tarek does not seem like a very common name. And I kind of remembered someone that had sent us in feedback, audio feedback, several times. And it had been a while, but I'm thinking, is this, well, obviously this is not the same Tarek, because he would have mentioned that, to me when we were there over in Hendon. And then when I got back from that, I did a little bit of searching to see, is that the same Tarek? And then he sends us in this audio feedback, and I see the name, his last name, and I think, oh, that is the same Tarek. I'm sorry that I didn't say anything about all the great contributions you've made, Tarek, to our show over the years. I think the first one he sent in was in 2016.
Wow.
So he's been a long-time listener and a
Yeah, you
long
said
time
12 years, I think.
contributor. No, that wasn't. That was
that?
another guy. That
Oh,
was
okay.
Magnus.
Right, yeah.
I think. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thanks, Liz. She said, "What a tolerant guy." Yeah. Anyway, great guy. And at the time he sent in the feedback, he was just at the very beginning of his career, and a flying career. And now, well, he's probably going to tell us what he's doing now. So he says, "Hey, thanks for the amazing meetup. A quick voice feedback about the meetup, which then ties into iHall's posting of the BBC article about UK flight schools shutting down." Tarek. Okay, so right now we're going to, let me adjust the volume first before I hit this button, just to make sure I don't blow everybody's ears out. Let's see, where is it? Right there. And this is going to be through, that should be okay. All right, so here we go. Take it away, Tarek.
Hello APG crew, Tarek Merryface here. I just wanted to say thank you so much for the meetup at RF Hendon. It was really, really cool. I had a fantastic time. I thought I was going to just be staring at the different airplanes and stuff. But honestly, I ended up just talking to people, just socializing. The only times I was really looking at airplanes was when I was listening to Captain Nick telling me stuff. And my God, Nick, you know so much about airplanes. Whoa. It was really, really humbling and eye-opening and a fantastic experience. But no, honestly, I just wanted to talk to people and find out about them because they had such interesting backgrounds. And another really cool thing was meeting Pilot Pip. I'm a recently new colleague of his, woohoo, just joined Safe Jets recently, loving it. And so it was good to just talk nonsense about company and all sorts of stuff. It was really, really cool. I'd also like to thank you guys for the hat. I love my APG hat, my Acme Airlines hat. I'm just going to be wearing it all the time now, except for at work, because apparently people frown on pilots wearing baseball caps. I'd also really like to thank Liz the Legend for buying the first round of drinks. Thank you, Liz. You're amazing. And my quick feedback is just in response to iHallBox's post of the BBC article discussing all the schools that are closing down. And I'm someone who loves flight training. I was a flight instructor, and I'm really passionate about education. I even have my own side gig where I sometimes teach online. And we had another listener, Eva, who's been affected by this thing, or was very close to being affected by these flight schools closing down in the UK. But that's her story to tell. I don't really want to step on her toes. I'm hoping she'll send in some feedback as well. So I just want to talk about this without getting political, without talking about whether it was the right call or the wrong call to leave the European Union. That's not what we're here. That's not what we're about. I just wanted to talk about the consequences of the UK leaving EASA, because I know for me it's cost me quite a bit of money, several £100. And I was one of the lucky ones. I know folks who had spent thousands of pounds converting their licenses to be dual license holders. Because having to redo the Class 1 initial, for example, which here is very expensive. So the Class 1 medical certificate, to do it initially, is about £615. So you're talking about, give or take, $800-900. So hugely expensive. And so really the consequences of this, for better or for worse, again, let's not get involved in this. The reality is, ever since we've left EASA, there's just no demand for flight schools. And I just don't see it getting any better anytime soon. There's no way around this. I've kept you guys long enough. I just want to say thank you again, and love the show. Keep it up as always. I'll see you guys next time. Keep the blue side up. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Tarek, again for the audio feedback, and again, great meeting you, and congrats to you and your career's progress, and condolences that you have anything to do with Pip. But I'm sure that there are a lot of.
I'm sure it'll get better.
Yeah, there will be a lot of competent people that you will meet, and nice people at Safe Jets too. So that'll compensate.
Do you have? Does Liz have anything that Nigel and I could talk while you go for a pee?
Well, why don't you talk about EASA?
I don't know anything about EASA.
And just remember, when Liz is talking to us, the people on the video can't hear what she's saying. So
Okay, well, thanks, Jeff, for dropping that hot potato right where it is. Yeah,
you're welcome.
All right, well, we'll wait to see if Liz comes up with a good idea.
Okay, well, we were going to sing a song.
Oh, no.
But I've just come back now.
Wait. I can hold it. Please don't sing. Liz, please don't make him sing. Don't let him sing a song.
All I was going to say, we were going to let him sing a song, and the boss said no singing.
No singing. The songs, the lyrics, they're offensive.
He's bursting for a pee, and he's so worried about the song that he's come back again.
Oh, gosh.
Go away.
Number 8. Okay, we'll have a look. This is feedback from Brian Geller. Family members operating a flight. Now, this is an interesting subject, and indeed I wanted to talk about this. I've just managed to close. Oh, there it is. Brian wrote in saying, a question for the show. It seems like every few months an airline promotes a feel-good story about family members that are pilots at the same airline flying together. From a CRM, crew resource management perspective, do you think it's a good idea for family members to fly together? As pilots, do you have any opinion on family members operating a flight together? I love these feel-good stories, but find it odd that one family member is allowed to temporarily supervise another family member in a commercial company. That's very interesting. And I'll just start it off, Nige, by saying I remember when I was a kid, my father worked for several airlines because they were often taken over by a bigger one. And on one particular airline, he was never allowed to operate the aircraft as a pilot if he had any immediate family members traveling on board the same aircraft, so either as a passenger or on the jump seat or whatever, because the company felt that having a family member on board might unduly affect his judgment. got an opinion about
Yeah,
that?
of course.
What about family members working together?
Yeah, I mean, you can't be as dispassionate. I mean, it's one thing sitting up the front knowing that you're about to die and try and save everyone down the back, but if you know you got your wife and kids on board, then it's got to affect your judgment, I have no doubt about it. Not to mention if you are having an argument with, say, your spouse in the other seat. And I think you've got a story about that, haven't you?
Yeah, we had a news article about an Indian airline where the husband and wife had a flaming row, and one of them stormed off the flight deck, and the other followed them, leaving the flight deck unattended while they had a big row in the galley. Now I'm laughing, but it's by no means a laughing matter. Absolutely horrendous. Now, there's no doubt about it that if you're with another pilot who you don't know, you're much less likely to be inflamed to that level by them. I don't know. What do you reckon, Jeff?
I agree.
Yeah. Anything else to add?
No.
So, if you had to fly, if your ex-wife, had been a first officer or even a training captain, and you had to operate a flight with them when you were having, not ideal relations, what would you have done? Would you have operated that trip, or would you have stood yourself down?
Well, we had talked about this, I guess it was last night.
Yeah.
How many people can kind of empathize, I think, with, or kind of, I don't know what the word is because I've had too much beer. So when you're driving a car, and most of us out there listening to this have driver's licenses and drive vehicles, have you ever gotten into the car and you've just had a fight with your wife or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, whatever, children, yeah, and you're just flaming mad and you're just angry and you're driving, and then you kind of not paying attention to the way you're driving the car. And some people would say you're kind of recklessly driving and you're driving too fast and you're just taking out your anger, with the car. And a lot of accidents occur in these situations where you completely kind of ignore most safety requirements, and until you calm down, then you start driving sanely again. And to have that happen in control of an airplane or in command of an airplane is just not a good place to be. And so that's what I would say about that.
Interesting that my parents never worked together, but my father never worked for an airline that had that same restriction. So in future flights, he was allowed to have me on board, and I jump-seated on many flights with him. And one of the things that gave me such a thrill and made me so sure that I wanted to become an airline pilot, I don't think I'd have followed my career with the same enthusiasm if I hadn't had such a wonderful kickstart. And of course, if that was a general rule, you could fly with your family members, then that might never have happened. So I think it operated well. I think most pilots would say they can separate themselves from their feelings, regardless of what they might be when they're flying. I would say I doubt that is actually happening, but you've got to trust people in their judgment, because I think that you can take a very professional attitude, but in those quieter moments when you haven't got anything to concentrate on hard on the flight deck, your mind will move on to other subjects. And if you've had a big bust up at home or something, 10 to 1, it's going to center on that. And you're going to relive that argument, and your temper and your emotions are going to start to rise again. It's only natural. And if something then occurs on the flight, you might not react in a very logical manner because your emotions are already aroused.
It's another facet as well. I think there was an incident in Russia pre 9/11, maybe, And so Dad was the captain, and he had the son on the jump seat, and he said, "Oh, let's swap over." So the kid's now flying a commercial airliner, and just sort of gets into a bit of a spiral dive, and they didn't recover. You'd think spiral dive would be, particularly if the FO is sitting in the right-hand seat, that would be relative, but it didn't, and that was unnecessary. So there are family factors that just shouldn't be there in the, I say the cold operating environment of a professional cockpit. So I think actually people's judgment can be affected sometimes.
I think he was like banking the airplane, and he got into a Dutch roll.
Is
It
that
was
what
a characteristic of that.
Either way, you shouldn't have been in the
I
seat.
can remember the story well. They had the autopilot engaged.
Oh.
Yet he was allowed to pretend he was flying. And the first officer was turning the autopilot to make the airplane bank, and they were telling the child that it was him doing it. But what they didn't realize was that when he put a certain amount of force on the control column, the autopilot trimmed against that to hold level. And he put so much force on the control column that the autopilot kicked out. And when all those trim forces suddenly came into effect, the airplane entered this amazing series of climbs and dives and eventually crashed.
Irrespective, it was a family factor. So
you can see
absolutely. Why the question
the immediate
is
cause
asked.
is, you're quite right. The immediate cause is irrelevant to a certain extent. But I agree. And I think we could point at quite a number of accidents that have occurred because of that. So I think it's right that it's lovely to see father and daughter, husband and wife flying together. They do make good PR stories, but I personally think that you'd be safer flying with someone else that you didn't have the same close relationship with.
I agree.
Interesting.
No, I don't want to say anything else about any of the items we've covered so far. How long have we been going, Liz? Oh, okay. Well, good. Is there anything else you guys would like to cover before we wrap up the show?
I'm still waiting to sing my song.
Okay. We're going to get to that as soon as we
That'll be
wrap
part
up the
two
show.
of the show. Part two of the show.
Yes, the APG After Dark or After Show podcast. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and start our wrap-up ceremony. And we always point you over to the website, airlinepilotguide.com, where you'll find information about the crew and the community and merchandise. And we have the APG library, our librarian, Tiffany, who manages that. Thank you, Tiffany. And let's see, Plane Tales page, where Captain Nick puts additional information and photos and stuff. And YouTube link for Micah.
Yes.
And
you too could be like Micah and have your own individual YouTube link,
right,
if you bother.
Wait a minute. Maybe does that mean I have to make individual pages?
Yeah,
for
you
everybody?
do for everybody.
I'm not doing that. Nope, forget it. Micah has a special place in my heart, in our hearts, and it's worth doing for. And I'm sure that's not only Micah that uses that link. Anyway, go over to the website, check it out. It's great. And also, we are on social media, what I like to call the social meds, because I'm an old fuddy-duddy, and that's what I say. Nick, would you like to tell us about the social media?
Absolutely. Now, our page on TikTok has yet to be invented, so I can't tell you about that. But
It's
I
not
can
gonna
tell
happen.
you about our Facebook page, for which the search you need to put in there is Airline Pilot Guy, all one word. If you're a Twitterer, or as we like to call them, Twatterers, at APG Crew is our handle there. And on Instagram, where you'll see a lot of the artwork, just APG Crew.
And you got to get ahead of it, boys, and get onto Threads.
Oh,
No,
Threads.
we're not doing
Right.
Threads.
Oh, that sounds good.
I'm not going to do any more. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. Unless if you want to, if you want to do that, then
It's so easy
have
to
at it.
wind
Like
Jeff up at the
Instagram.
moment.
Like I don't do that, and Facebook. Oh. Is Hillel here? I don't know.
He's
Let me
upstairs.
see if we can.
There's enough bathrooms.
hear
It depends which bathrooms he's in.
I think he's up in your bathroom, Jeff.
Oh yeah. It's
Oh,
right
I can
above.
hear him. Yeah.
It's right above where we're.
Oh, that water's coming through the ceiling.
Hello. Can you tell us about Slack?
Turn it off.
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
I know,
Well,
it's
of course,
dripping
you got
down
in the
here.
bloody shower, you twit.
Okay, well, yeah, I better turn off the camera.
Put
We
a
don't want to.
towel on.
Oh gosh,
here it
Hillel, come on. Okay, make room for him. And okay, tell us about Slack.
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas, we suggest episode and plain tales topics, we plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com, or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
All right, thanks, Hillel.
Can you get me a roll of toilet paper?
Oh, mate, come on. You've used it all up.
We're out. You'll take it like a man and use your hand.
Don't come down for dinner.
Your left hand. Don't forget you use your left hand.
And no, we do honestly, thank Hillel for all the hard work that he does in support of our show. And also, speaking of hard work and supporting our show, we have the awesome producer Liz Piper.
Hey, hi,
That's
Liz.
me.
Well done.
Hi,
Thank you.
guys. Good
She's
show.
been talking to us the
Very
whole
good
time,
show.
directing us. That's why I like to call her producer director. I mean, you hear her directing.
Liz,
Absolutely.
having been a bit closer to it, I don't know how you put up with these guys. It's dreadful. Good job, girl. Good job.
Thank you, Nigel.
And,
Thank you for helping.
And a big thank you to Nigel
Excuse me.
That's
for
kind. It's my pleasure.
his beautiful place and very generous, your wife and yourself.
I didn't
and,
give you my wife.
Well, we need to talk. Anyway, big round of applause for Nigel.
thanks,
It's so
man.
nice
My
to have
pleasure.
him on.
My pleasure.
He's
You're
a
welcome.
great guest host.
Big round of applause
And-
for Nick and Jilly.
And the Nick and Joe. Okay, Nick and Jilly.
Nick and Jilly show.
Here we go. How about some noisemakers to go with it? All right.
Going green.
Yeah, going green. How about that? We're going green.
They're going to the green tomorrow.
We're gonna take care of the earth.
We're going to the bowling green.
We're bowling green. Oh, look at
We're going to the bowling green.
Bowling green. Well done, Liz.
That's what happened. We're bowling green.
We're
bowling
green.
We're gonna take care of the earth.
We're bowling green. Oh yeah.
Love it. Can we stop now? I think
Yeah.
we couldn't
All
sing
right.
songs. Oh, we can sing a song, Nick.
Oh, yes, we can.
No,
apparently.
no.
When
Okay,
flag-
let's go ahead and cut this off now. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the show. And next week, we'll resume our normal format. And again, so many great people that I've met on this this vacation of mine, and it's been incredible. And I'm just loving every minute of it. And with that, we're going to sign off and say, wishing you all clear skies, unlimited visibility, talons. Douglas.
Bye, everybody.
And it's good night from him.
Bye, everybody.
Glenn out. I should probably snip a little bit of him in the
Yes,
audio
if we
feed.
could find an audio, that'd be great.
Glenn out. That's what I'll do.
Glenn
Excellent.
out.
All right. So,
Well done,
a little
Liz.
different show. Thank you, Liz. See how
Good
much
job.
she helps us in the
Oh,
background.
definitely. It's unbelievable, actually. She
Yeah.
knew more about what you were doing this week than you did.
I know.
I know.
She was like feeding all this information into my head.
I haven't been
Okay, tell
drinking.
him about tomorrow.
Yeah, but you're not even in the country, Liz. So.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Oh, let's see what I hardly looked at what was happening.
Now, do
in
you
the-
turn your recorder off, Jeff?
I turned my recorder off, and I both of the things that were recording I've turned off, and I think we hang out here on StreamYard until all of our local recording and your local recording gets up to the StreamYard server, Liz, and but we're gonna talk a little bit to our audience and see if we can get some suggestions from them regarding show titles, or do you already have an idea?
F1 car park.
I think it's
F1
got to be
car park.
Jeff's Grand Tour or something, doesn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, that's it.
No, could be. Liz is saying something about Jeff's Grand Tour. Grand Prix.
Yeah.
It's got to be something to do with the F1, I think.
Yeah.
A Grand Prix vacation?
Right.
A Grand Prix
We need to end
vacation.
the show. Cheers.
So do we?
Nigel, get above that mic. Come on, stretch out.
Okay.
Thanks, brother.
So have we thought of a show title now?
Traders Day in the UK.
Oh, that's
Michael's
good. That's
suggestion.
good.
I like that.
That worked out really well during the July 4th thing. That's great.
Yeah, it was fun. It was so cool to meet that other family from the U.S. That happened to be there. I really thought, honestly, that we were offending them from all the American flags and everything else.
Hey, Liz, you haven't seen my gate. I get back and there are stars and stripes all over my gate. You have to duck to get into my house now.
Little miniature flags hanging from. That was Nick's idea. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah, we decorated the place so that people could find it, but
Well, if you'd
only
given them
6 did.
correct directions, most of them ended up in the lamp pit, I heard.
Yes, well, Andrew certainly did.
So, not everyone. Yeah. Anyway, so thanks everybody for the short notice joining us in the live audience. You guys are incredible. Anything going on of note that we should mention before we stop the broadcast?
I don't think so. We'll see you next week.
If
We'll
we
be
did
back on
Traders Day in the UK, I could do sort of English flags, and you being hung or beheaded, and then we could have racing cars.
It would be
and things
hanged,
like-
not hung. No, seriously.
As long as you're well hanged,
not
it
hung.
doesn't matter.
Hung is
Well
not-
hung.
But if you're well hung, that's
Well,
another thing.
I am hung, but hanged if you're talking about a noose around a neck.
Okay,
Something
Mike
like
has
that,
got a
please.
point here. He says we give him a link, he gives a title.
See, you give me a link and I give it. Okay, that's a fair exchange, Micah.
Yeah.
Fair exchange. Thank you.
So what title has he given us?
He's given us Traders Day in the UK.
Well, there you go.
Bye,
All
everybody.
right.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, all the best. Lovely to have you on
Bye.
board.
We love you guys.
Bye.
Love you.